Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? All right, so let's go ahead and make sure we're sharing all of our screens before I get started. Bam. Canada to ban all handguns starting August. I think the importation, right? I don't believe that it was. I think Canada banned just the handguns, or just the import of Canada handguns. One second. Good morning. What's up? What's up, Hawaiian Bunch? Uh, Biden announced new gun regulations. Well, I don't see anything on there. I guess I'll just have to look it up later. All right. So, without any further ado, so I was up kind of late last night. So I wasn't able to hop on early, but it's fine because it's basically Monday, and we're just looking to see how things are going to shape up. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the news really quickly, and then we'll go ahead and get to the watch list updated, and then we'll go ahead and get to it. We are live on YouTube, so those of you guys on TikTok, if you want to see my screen, be able to ask questions, etc., etc., we'll drop those requests there. So, all right. So right off the bat, y'all, U.S. stock index futures were down as inflation fears weighed on sentiment. European shares fell after data showed inflation rose to the highest record in May, spurring bets of a bigger interest rate hikes from the European Central Bank. Japan's Nikkei closed lower amid a caution over the global economic outlook. The euro slipped and the dollar edged up. Gold prices dipped as U.S. bond yields firmed. Oil prices climbed as the EU agreed to a partial ban on Russian oil. Biden highlights Fed inflation roll ahead of Powell meeting on Tuesday. Biden has said that the Federal Reserve has a primary responsibility to control inflation and vowed not to seek to influence its decisions inappropriately ahead of the meeting on the with the central bank chief. So, why is the market back? Why all market is back up now? I believe this is just a rally. Just your basic bull bear rally. Excuse me. You know, this one's likely to be bigger than the last. So, um, anyway, so. U.S. Airlines canceled about 2,500 flights over the Memorial Day weekend. Of course, U.S. Airlines, which are still rebuilding flight crews after the COVID-19 pandemic travel slowdown, canceled more than 2,500 flights over the Memorial Day holiday that starts the traditional start of the busy holiday travel season. So, global refiners falter in efforts to keep up with demand. So, refiners are just going at it right now. United States, Brazil. Exacerbating high prices and aggravating shortages from big consumers like the United States and Brazil, and smaller countries like war-ravaged Ukraine and Sri Lanka. So, what is the best crypto to buy? I'm a stock dude, man, and I would recommend figuring out what it means to be the best crypto, or what qualifications that you would want to look for, and then start doing research there, man. I wouldn't ask a random guy on the internet. I'm confident in my stocks, but as far as crypto picks and utility and decentralized, I don't know, dude. That's not my cup of tea. Go ahead up crypto tea. There you go. All right, so billionaire investor, I don't know what I'm reading today, some other language, has a 1.5 stake, joins on Liver board, on Unilever, sorry. That's Nelson Peltz. The consumer said, help heaping pressure on the maker of Dove soap and Hellmann's mayonnaise as it reviews its strategy. All right. So that's pretty much it. As far as air headlines are concerned, we did see that Rivian. I'll post that article on my Twitter, but they were A former Tesla executive served as executive vice president from May 2020 at Rivian. He bought the R1T pickup truck and R1S SUV into production in late 2021. He is leaving the company. So, what do I say long? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move over to my watch list. That's about it. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen. No even private transfers ends in August, so there will be 0 new handguns in the country. You can't even transfer ones that are already in the country. I'll keep my opinions to myself. Now that it's been a couple of months, if you were a stock, which one would you be?
See a little value in the air.
AMD. Not because it's on my screen. It just felt natural. I'd be AMD. Because I have lots of value, but you know, sometimes we gotta dump before we see it. I don't know. All right, so as far as the watch list is concerned, everybody, so my worst fears have been actualized. So we've got that one BABA call, our BABA position here. It did gap up. It moved right out of that thing. Easy peasy. So what I'm going to be watching for here, because it did, in fact, in pre-market hit my target. If you guys don't recall, last night I said $97.10. It's currently at $97.04. So this one very well could gap fill, or if it moves above 98.16, I'm going to use this week's contracts, $100 strike, and I'm going to slam this gap. So there's a gap to the upside. This is likely a 5 contract situation given the volume, speed, velocity, if the market gives that. So, and that's just a simple gap fill play for me. So, I'm just going to go over a couple of stocks that I'm just going to simply be watching. If you guys are on TikTok, if you guys don't mind, I really appreciate it if you guys would just tap your screen so the algorithm doesn't shoot me down. All right, so I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, so QCOM. This one's not a main watch at all, but it did gap down 50%, so it gives you a clear entry around 140.10 up to around the 141.72, and then potentially in my target would be 142.83. But this one, as we discussed last night, has a massive daily falling wedge. So this is a watch list stock, but not on the watch list. So I will be keeping an eye on it. If it makes a move, I'll make a move. If it does not, I will not. The target here is going to be 150.23. And this is both up and down. If it goes down, I have no interest in it whatsoever. So, all right, the next one that we've got is Facebook. So we've got Facebook, which is wrapped up in this triangle at the moment. Along with every other stock, it has gapped down. There is the potential to pull back and hit 187. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tapping the screen. I appreciate that. Try to make sure that TikTok is don't sound crazy. Okay, I think that's clear enough. All right, so anyway, lower time frame. Now that we've kind of got what the daily looks like, this is kind of what I'm looking at on the lower time frame. So we do have a broken downtrend, and we could very well see a retest. That retest would likely come around 191.32 or 191 even. So I'm watching for a pullback bounce due to the gap down, or just an immediate move to the upside and above 198. Above 198, I think we got a clear target to 204. If you're not writing these things down, again, reminders, give yourself as many tools as you can during the day. So Facebook, just simply upside, you can just right bounce. I'm writing all of this down, by the way. 191, and then 204 upside target. And that's going to be past 198.20. So past 198.20. All right, so keeping an eye peeled on that one. If we do move up today, I'm not sure if it's going to be today. I will probably enter a long trade going out till next week, looking at the 220 strikes for Facebook. Can I zoom out? Yes. What is the screen behind it? That is just a heat map. It's not that exciting. I only put it there to make people ask questions, which is working wonders, because that's the number one question that I get. Anyway, so the 204 level would be that 50% mark of the falling wedge. So
NASDAQ down 67.75. Who is up $4.18 at 119.25. Down $5.
That's okay.
At 1851.90. Bitcoin futures up.
We should have
switched at 31,565. Coming up at 9 a.m. Eastern time, the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index.
Excuse me. Okay, so next on the watch list, and again, not every single one of these is like hot priority for me, but I did talk about SQ. SQ's gonna need a pullback, I think, to around 88.60, and then looking at this one to potentially go up into fill. I don't even really like that gap, but I just like the target. So the target period right now is 93.07. Above 93.07, there's a 97.33 target, and we have speculated that there's a possible bear flag on the daily forming, but it still has more upside. And because of that, it is not a long hold. It's one that if you end up going against the grain and it does give you the sign to cut, you take it, because ultimately we would be anticipating a rejection at 96.70 to 97.30. You made me $200 on on PayPal calls. Dude, if I could do anything for anybody, is to Robinhood the money that has been taken by PayPal through fees, holds, breaking and entering. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, PayPal broke into my house, stole everything. What's up, man? Good morning. Okay, so last ones really quickly. We've got SQ, so Amazon, which I don't usually watch Amazon on Monday, but fuck it. So this one, if we pull back 22.75, 70. That's where we're looking at it. We're up against a clear resistance. This one doesn't get more obvious, so I'm not going long immediately, but above 23.18, we've got pretty sweet targets like 23.50, 23.60, and 2400. We talked about the double bottom that is likely, well, not likely, but is happening at the moment. And we also spoke about the downtrend starting off the top, make it drop. That's the 200-day EMA. So that's $2,400, and then ultimately possibly a gap fill, but we'll talk about that if it comes time. So Apple thoughts. Looks just like Amazon. So I was projecting, and I'll keep this quick because that's it for the watch list for me. But 147.44 is a pullback level for Apple. Watch that level. If you lose that level and you lose 50%, which is 146.58, watch for Apple to make a pullback. It could make an inverse head and shoulders here, but it is very clearly up against resistance. So I'll take that sign when it comes. But Macy's, I think we talked about Macy's. Yes, we did. And look at that. So it looked like a little uptrend was broken. Oftentimes wedges can extend themselves, which I think is what you're seeing here. But this thing has gapped down. So anywhere below 2270, and ultimately if you see that there's the body candle closes there, but also look at where those wicks close. All of them close there at 2250. So below 2250, I would venture to guess that Macy's is a downside play. It's actually a good setup for small accounts. So Macy's can be with liquidity can provide some decent trades. You do have to use more than one contract if you're scalping or day trading. Just FYI. By the way, if you're a scalper, right, or scalping makes the most sense to you, and you have a small account, you're trying to build it, you need to be focusing more on mechanics, because if you find a stock, aka such as Macy's, you can use this almost the exact same strategy as somebody with a $5,000 or $10,000 account or $20,000 account, where Macy's premiums are relatively low and they can give you a quick scalp. But again, that's something that mechanically wise, you need to be real with yourself and know where you're at. So, oh, you're in Macy's puts. Roxana, look at that. Short Macy's for me. Do it for me. Target right there could be $22 even. So, all right. I'm gonna save my rant for after Manny. But I do have one more thing. If you are new, even if you're not new, I have something there's something I'm gonna say. But Manny, if you're ready, Manny, you can go ahead and give it to the good people. No, I can hear everything now. Too much. It's too much. Oh, I can hear your heartbeat.
I hope everyone can hear me better. The the fourth mic that I own 4 mics. It's funny. I own 4 mics and none of them seem to work out.
Mics ago, I offered to buy Manny a mic.
No, dude, what? So I woke up last night like around 3, like I think 3, 4. I had a lot of trouble sleeping. My girl changed like I hate like new comforters. I can't stand change. I hate change. But maybe not. I was sleeping and I woke up and I was reading a lot of things and all that. So dude, Europe, 8.1% inflation report versus the 7.7 estimates. I mean, it's not surprising, it's not shocking news. Lagarde has yet to admit that raising rates would be appropriate. I mean, I have friends in Spain that they're saying, all hails over there. It's like everything's going to be expensive. And imagine it's expensive to them. Imagine for us if we were to go pay into the seat. But regardless of the case, I guess we saw some selling in futures sort of spill into our markets. Now, this is simple as black and white. We either build and we shut that off, we gap fill, which is pretty much what I think is going to happen because the gaps are worthless, or we're just going to keep, chopping around. Well, because remember, we had 3 days of upside. The 3 days of upside was not done by um repositioning of dealers. It was not done by this or by that. It was purely done for short covering. The cost side of the SPX, of the Qs, of everything, nothing changed. Everything stayed exactly the same, right? So this is basically a short cover rally, which is what I've been saying. What I said if you look back at my analysis channel, what I basically said how this is going to portray eyes. The winds have not shifted, so we're still seeing the same.
Does all
The fastest speed run off the game. My guesses are, and again, this is sort of like the bear side of my theory. They'll start selling. We're gonna see more market volatility. At some point, we'll see market. Why won't we see market disruption? And there's nobody absorbing that liquidity on the other side. You gotta remember, the ones that were always absorbing the liquidity on the other side up until 2 months ago was the Fed. The Fed was buying every dip. That's what they were doing. Now, I'm gonna be the opposite. Now they're gonna sell every rip, right? At some point, I think that this will cause a lot of market volatility, and it's just going to be an excuse for them to stop or to slow it down and just hold their balance sheet long. That's what I think it is. I mean, if it doesn't happen, I get it. It is what it is. But that's where my theory comes as this, because at the end of the day, we are gonna push the linear below, right? This is not, and the downtrend we're in is not shifted, nothing has, the
No.
sentiment has shifted, right? The only thing that shifted was that we stopped with the whole Russian thing, and that's it.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we're seeing the effects of that still in our markets, just not in equity markets. It's on something like gold, right? We're seeing the manipulation happening in gold. Gold has rips into economic data releases, and then the rips get sold, right? So we're still seeing all of that affecting gold, but not our traditional equity market again. So personally, I think this whole EU crap is going to settle down. I mean, still the guard says, look, we're going to start raising rates. We're going to start moving forward. And it's what it is. Remember, it's all a giant game of follow the leader. We are always going to be the leaders. USD will always be the one leading whatever's happening. We collapse the economy and then we will first to the ferry. It's how it's but that's pretty much for me. I watch it. My watches are all bounces instead of Tesla. The reason why Tesla is different is pretty simple. So if you look at the 20-day EMA, just if you hit such that indicator, you're gonna be saving Tesla exactly where we closed at, right? So and we built over that seven. Ideally, it was 760, right? But we got up. So I want to see that hold of that 755, 750. But ideally we could also hold 760, which would be our 20-day on the hourly. Sorry, our 20-day on the daily. So if we hold those levels, then we're gonna most likely see Tesla build. All you have to do is just wait for the safe entry, let it get over 775, let it give that 5-minute close. Tesla will always give a dip, and if it doesn't give a dip, just take it over the new 5-minute highs and ride it into that 795 target. Remember that 780 is the first break, right? It's not going to be just 775 to 785. You got to break 780 first.
I feel like we might see a pullback today. I don't know why.
You don't know what? Only.
No, I think we might. I think we might. So last night I was talking about, and I just went and recharted my entire watch list. Just throwing simple lower time frame downtrends on everything, or little uptrends. And anytime I draw a dynamic line, it doesn't usually stay unless I have some type of data point backing it up, aka the EMA. But right here, this is SPY, and it looks like that little stupid white line is perfectly lined up with my 50-day EMA. And it does have a really nice trend line as well. And if you look at where that yellow line is, I just posted that chart, or if you're looking at my stream, that completes the gap fill at 405.30, but would also complete a retest of the demand zone that we just broke. Which has not been done. So that's the one dynamic here going into today, is that we have an untested, so we just broke out of it. And that doesn't usually happen without a proper retest. So if we are going to continue to hold up higher, I think that using some of the data that's been given this week, and we are running into obviously more data at the end of the week, but we could see an initial pullback first before it's all said and done. Again, we already have a gap down. So I mean, it could be and I don't think, I'm actually looking at Facebook, and I think that from where Facebook is at now, that Facebook is likely going to see a pullback to, I have it marked out as 190.55. So I think we'll see red, and then possibly, if it doesn't happen today, I think it could just be a quick red to green day, where you finish green but start off, kind of low volume, sensitive directions, stuff like that. So I should have bought a Sun Jose mic. Oh my god. Yeah. The whole Sun mic. That's what he should have bought. It's just a thought though. It's a dynamic trend line. There's not much weight given to it unless it actually does something, but Tesla gapped up. Tesla gapped up all the way. So I still have 781 as a target for that one, but what? It's hard. It's hard for you to mute yourself. Yeah. I want to hear it. I don't either. Yep, me neither. Um, personally, I don't like the gap up on Tesla, but Upstart looks pretty good with the potential cup and handle. I think what you've started is a potential channel. I'm not sure exactly where that channel is, but I still have a target on Upstart of 56.50. So, okay. All right. So Facebook, Baba. I'm throwing these levels in my chat really quickly. As the main watches. Yeah, I feel like that we might end up hitting that trend line. I don't know why. Those of you watching, Snapchat has a pretty weird looking setup on the 15-minute right here. It's got a crazy looking rising wedge. Watch for that thing to pull back to around 1450 today, potentially. All right. I just saw that chart up, so I said, okay, all right, Baba, we got that one. SU, got that one.
I mean, it's not having to set up contracts. It's kind of like,
It's 9.
oh,
It is not. I don't.
I didn't do this press buy and sell, and I was done. Hey, what's this? Yo, have you seen Tesla's A20 pop?
Yeah, it was nuts.
What is it? Why? That's weird, bro. That's another it's only $50 interval. That's weird.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough. And I'm gonna probably go to that level. That's super tough.
Yeah.
That's 20. That's a real buyer there.
Real quick, everybody, if you guys are on TikTok, what's the album you're playing? It's just lo-fi hip hop. If you are on TikTok, yeah, make sure to tap your screen. But if just for everybody, okay, I don't care if you're new, old, freshly born, whatever the case may be, talking to you. Today, we had a 3-day weekend. It was a good break. How you start this week is entirely up to you. We need to be proud of ourselves or glad that we're executing, whether that means cutting stop losses or taking profit, even if something continues to run. If we don't have the size to let runners go or whatever the case may be, but having some sort of plan. If you need accountability and you're looking to enter something during the day and one of us is on live, obviously, that's what we're here for. But please remember, weeklies, 15-minute candle closes. And if you're new, remember that most people are losing money on weekly contracts. So if you want to give yourself time, it may be more expensive, but you're buying time and you're buying essentially an asset that is not decaying or losing value as quickly with whatever chop may ensue, et cetera, et cetera. So if you do not have a clear setup and it does not make sense to you, you are not going to be able to execute it like you want. It's just the way it is. So being real with yourself is the theme of the week. So if you, again, last message here, if you have had a great week or if you end up having a great week, if you're 3 months into trading or you're 6 months into trading, consider where you're at and consider taking profit on the account and setting that money aside and restarting yourself. We've talked about this several times. This is something that Manny and me have both done and both do in our strategies where, I put 30K in my account. That's what I trade on, every month, and I wire myself out, and that's how I get paid. But it also just helps me complete a green month because people will have a 6-month green streak or 5-month green streak and then blow it in a month. Or in 2 weeks. Yeah. I've seen it worse. Yeah.
Insane. how anybody can do it. But it's that mentality of hustling.
New.
And if you don't let go of that mentality that the money that you made is not your money, again, forever.
Yeah. And understand that the market is, and you know, the saying goes, the market gives you one for free. Take it, you know, being real with yourself about where you're at in your trading journey and how long and how much more you have to. We all want to be the best at what we do. I do. But I have to always admit, you know, at some point that I don't know, you know, what this is, or this is new and I need to learn. And those situations will put me into an area where I'm more or less problem solving and not being able to just execute a plan, which again, your problem solving comes with trading. But if you, again, are brand new and you have an amazing trade, then consider taking that money out before the market does, because it will. Because if you still have more to learn, you will inevitably learn that lesson later on. So expose less and take more. That's it.
Versus dip on inflation fears. Bloomberg. That, that's not the headline for the US, bro. Yo, the way that like brings panic like no tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Where is Starboy? Where did the $1 million account challenge go after that? They just made it that. They just like, that's what it is. Don't worry about it.
What inflation, bro?
Fears. We're already scared.
I wouldn't be surprised now we'll have a sellout. So Bloomberg driver.
I am swing trading $550,000 into VTI in 1 to 14-day intervals. Have been doing this for years. That's awesome. I do not speak French. Via telepath. Yeah, I'm trying to put this together, but all I got is an affair in the grass with some guy named Thompson. So I have no idea what that says. Yeah, name another person who is able to do what he does and benefits off of it on a consistent basis. And it's not he, it's just long as I see it, he's in the space. All right. I still can't hear Manny well. Yeah, you will not be able to hear Manny on YouTube until I. It's not you. It's me. It's always been like this. I have a microphone, and I'm not like a tech genius, obviously, but I don't know how to get y'all's voices. I'm getting I have headphones that I'm going to be wearing. It made sense when you saying that. He said you. He said you need to stand up in your shoebox. There you go. Yeah. There's more like slippers, you know. Baba is going to short squeeze. I think Baba has a gap to fill to the upside. It's at it right now, so it might shoot straight up into the gap. $100.91. So yeah, TikTok can hear y'all fine, but obviously. I'm gonna change that because it was just. Dude, if I get up and try and just walk out, most of the time I just almost pass out from being dizzy because I'm 6'2". Yeah, dude. Every time I stand up, my body's got to be like, hold on, dude. You do not have it. You do not have enough blood up there. Let's equalize this shit. I am short, but I'm not short. I'm 6'2" and change. The vocal news alerts, that is through Benzinga Pro. There's a link in my profile for the trial. It's free, uses your phone number, and you can check that out. They do have a free Squawk Box but it is delayed. So, and I think TradingView has that. So. So that chart right there, Manny and me have looked at charts like that. Essentially, like there is no candlesticks, right? It just shows you the orders. That is absolutely something that I believe that, when you're in that time, like, or when you're in that place, to go through and start to like look at, because I mean, honestly, that was one of like the biggest changes, to be able to see like, those orders. A lot of the times you can kind of put those together like in your head. Or at least I can't, like, when you see like candlestick and then order, when you're watching the tape, I can see those order sizes. But today, green day or red? Well, I'm thinking, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think. The market's going to do what it wants. But at the moment, I'm thinking maybe a quick pullback, but below 305.15 for the Qs. I think we'll go and find support, which may be around 299. So the Qs may dump harder, and or we get just a quick retest of 306 and then continue to move up. So we'll see. It's basically Monday. There's no reason to look at it any other way. So I'm going to be waiting just for the first couple of minutes. Try not to be impulsive here. There's a lot of good setups, but I want to make sure that they're set up. So ABML is just a long trade for me. Like, I'll see in a couple years. What is the upside for Amazon? Oh, God. Amazon has targets to the upside. The nearest target is 2340, but ultimately I have 2370. Yeah, I know people who trade just off of those sphere charts, like the little bulbs, heat map things, like that. That's some extra. That's some matrix. My stream is blurry. That's weird. Here, I lowered the quality or the frame rate. All right, it's 9:23. Make sure you're setting your entries, exits, etc., etc., targets. Watch zoom below 109.35. That's the only level I've got. I do not trade crypto now. How do I find your live feed on YouTube? The link in my bio on my profile. Do you hedge every trade? When you hedge, do you hedge the same dollar amount of your initial planned position? So no, I do not hedge every trade. And normally what I'm looking for depends on how I'm hedging. So if I have something very long, speculative out, then I'm trading around it. So that means I'm not even considering the cost. I'm just trading it. I'm trading that stock in order to gain capital. That's it. To add or leverage out of my position. So, but normally, like there are straddles and stuff like that where I'm going equal, but it's not the same dollar amount. No, it has a lot to do with the contract, the chart, whether or not the hedge is going to work out. Yeah. HPQ, they had news. Forgot who or what it was, but actually, small accounts could watch for a gap fill below $38 even. I don't trade this one, and the contracts could be shitty, so I would, make sure that's a thing. 36.75 looks like it has a gap fill. Otherwise, watch it above that 39 and 40 mark for new highs. But this thing looks kind of short. I have to add an alert on that. Mullen has that falling wedge that I talked about. It's up right now. I think I gave it a target of 157 or 160. So watch that mark. If you break that level, I've got $1.08, $2.16 at the highs. So Nvidia is at the bottom of a channel. Currently has targets above it around 193.06 and $200.01. It's on the side watch list as well. So what's good? What's up? If you're on TikTok, I am streaming live on YouTube, so that way you can see my screen better. Uh, YouTube has a bad delay though. I have it on low latency. It should not have a bad delay. Yeah, this is not a bad delay on it. Do we have any good setups? Yeah, I just went over all of them. All the setups that I'm watching. Below Facebook's 193, I'll probably leg into this week's contracts for a short back to support. So I'll let you guys know. How was the meteor shower? Nothing. There was nothing. There was no shower. I think it'll be tonight, maybe. Maybe. $200 strike. Why would somebody choose YouTube over TikTok? Probably because their comments don't get washed away in a flood of other comments, and they can see my actual screen, like sharing my screen to them. So yeah, we're far away from those supports, so we'll see.
Less than 1 minute to the US market open.
Yeah. Amazon does look good, but we're up against resistance on everything, so. Good morning. Do you think that SPY is going to drop below 410?
I'm back. I don't have.
Maybe. Maybe. Amazon immediately took off. No breaks. Like literally, Amazon just rips to the upside.
VDR, never get an here after the open. The January $15 call sweep, Victor Echo Romeo Uniform, VDRU.
I'm stuck with a stock named Clovis. Start doing fundamental research. Nice. Yo, Zoom, just real quick. I'm not trading it, but Zoom has this little channel here. So it is rejecting that right now. So you might see the Zoom back down to 103. So watch that gap fill there. I'm still watching Zuckerberg. Apple. I'm gonna go with this week's Baba Strike 100. I'm stepping into this lightly. Those contracts are 144. I just got filled in 1, 2. Okay, I'm done.
Shares of the barrel getting $13.38 in that call activity. Victor Echo Romeo Unicorn.
I did not having to fight with the market maker, so I get my order filled. I did not miss that shit.
What are you in?
No, over and over. But I can't. I don't have the hotkey for it, so I have to do it manually. Oh, they didn't even signal it because as soon as they sent to my desk, it just started moving. I was like, oh.
Well, you can't save manually without kind of saying Manny. 193.88. If we're gonna see more.
Yeah, big first time on the queue, guys.
Yeah. I'm tempted to grab a put on Facebook, but I think I'm being overzealous here. Yeah, Amazon's like, nah, I gotta go, dude. Screw your market pullback. Jesus. That was a good pullback, though, right there, for anybody taking Amazon up.
Industrial average down 1.07% after the open. S&P 500 down 0.7%. NASDAQ Composite down 0.24% after the open.
If we engulf this candle on Baba, I'm out of the call side because this was going to be a scalp through that gap. Just FYI, Baba will go flush through the gap. I'm not going to compromise. If it's a scalp or a day trade, I'm cutting where I say I'm going to cut. So it's 97.85. I'd take a small loss, which is going to be about a $60 loss for me, which is not shit. So Zoom just gap filled. Those of you watching Zoom. I don't trade pennies and stuff like that, like TXMD or whatever that is.
That was dropping hard.
I think I'm gonna grab my Facebook put now. I'm gonna start with an early entry. Yeah, I'm gonna do an early entry, I think. I mean, there's not much room here. Fuck it. I'll do a 192.50. I'll do an early entry on Facebook right outside of the money, 192.50s. Pullback, looking just for a 191.10. Support bounce like I talked about this morning. I got my finger on the trigger for Baba. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Baba, no big deal. Keep it moving. Oh, no fill on Baba. Hold on. All right, now I'm out. Yeah, no, I'm only starting with early entries. If you are small accounts, when somebody says they're going into an early entry, that is not for you. So just FYI. Yeah, with one Facebook put because it's holding up, but it's hold.
I want to see that level holds out. 148 hold.
Does anybody's short Zoom? Yeah, let the market set up. That's why no big entries quite yet. Just waiting. Damn, Facebook might have a minute that it's gonna spend setting up here.
Apple found out before the dip, so I really wanted one for a year for it. So it's okay.
GML, Sigma Lithium shares dropping here to the lows and halted on the circuit breaker at a high of $19.99 and selling off and pulling
Moderna
down at 6.5%.
Moderna above 148.85 and below 142. 142. TP to Amazon swing 100%. Your BABA hedges went up to 230%. That's amazing. You could reshort this one if you want to. Looks like it's about to pull back on us and give us at least a little bit of that gap fill. I would say 96. So if you want to add to the puts that we swung, you're more than welcome to do so. If anybody took Zoom off of that, Zoom has continued to fall 108. The next level below you is 107. I'm still in Facebook puts on an early entry that I might add to here. Looking at 193.50. Oh, yeah.
S&P futures continue to fall here 41.14.
Watching the candle wick. Makes you feel so good.
Nice. Yeah, if anybody added on Baba, that one's pretty much going to 96 here, so. Come on, Zuckerberg. Give up and die. Rod Stringer, NVIDIA is paying up 2K now. Nice. Don't be greedy. Make sure you're taking profits. That's amazing. You are at your hourly 9-day moving average, which is very bullish. If you bounce. Come on, damn it. Mark. I'm going to add one here. If we break, here's the yellow line. Right there. Okay. Oh, all right, fine. All right, I'll add there. Hey. Damn. Damn.
148 on Apple, 22,900 shares sitting there.
Get down. So if we bounce and move back up above 194, I would venture to guess, everyone, that we are going to have a third cycle here, and we're going to see ourselves up at 196. Which, if you want to hold it through that, that's entirely up to you. It's kind of mad, but it does look like it's going to pull back. So the red to green so far is looking like it's going to play out. But that means that we're going red first. So that means we're watching for areas to bounce. Like on NVIDIA, I've got 183.80. On Facebook, I've got 190.50. And Baba's going to fill its gap. Square, that one actually needs to bounce. I think I'm going to dig into Facebook here with some lots. Once we break. All right, if you flip the script on Baba and you're playing it to the downside here, we're about to hit that target, 96.03. Did anybody take Zoom? Anybody out there? I can't catch them all, so. Yeah, I still have Baba puts from last week. Trying to.
Aaron Gordon Haskett says Carl Icon named Conduit looks to be setting up for sale.
If Apple breaks 148, they're going to sell for break even. Just FYI.
What did
Shares of Conduit spiking here, $5.25 at the high, now at $5.16 at 2.3%. That's Charlie November Delta Tango.
If you got into Facebook with me, you're green, but we're fluctuating.
21,000 shares. That got squeezed out. Stop loss triggered on my Apple contract. That was still a nice bounce though. Shit, I'll take 30 cents over public stock last night. Yeah.
Get down, Facebook, damn it. What is this? I'm about to add. Yeah.
The issue is, let me explain something to you guys, and I know I haven't been trading bounce.
Adding here.
So with
Candle close. Sorry.
when you take bounces and rejection trades, this is not for any trader. It's very risky. It's hard because you're buying what we essentially call falling knives. Okay? That's the big part there. Don't forget that.
All right, so real quick, before I add, if you are watching Facebook with me, I'm telling you what I'm seeing as I see it. I see 1, 2. I see 1, 2. That means 3 is more than likely going to happen, which means we could see a Facebook pulling off one of these, and then at the end of the day, giving us the red. So I'm going to stay in my position, but if we get back up above 194, I will cut it there, okay? Just FYI, if you're green, do what you want to do. Dude, I do not care about that at all. I can't tell you how much I don't. Yeah, man, if that's all you, dude. All you, bro. No offense. I can't. That's not my thing. So there's also NFTs that went up 1,000,000%, and I missed them, and I'm okay with that. BTC massive selling volume. Yeah, I think I pissed a few people off by saying that I would buy Bitcoin at 10K.
Me too. Wait till it gets regulated. We're gonna be buying at that price.
Yeah.
Just like Tesla's not giving that 750 bounce. Right? We never gave that move above.
Get down, Zuck.
Never question that was there.
5-minute play. Good luck, boys. I'm gone. Amazing job. Amazing job. TP Facebook put at what? 190, 150. Well, I'm not really liking this wedge I'm not really liking this at the moment. I'm thinking about cutting my contracts now. We need to keep falling. If anybody took Zoom again for this one is looking like it's gonna give you a new low possibly. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm anticipating another wave up, which
Wrong. You Tesla is actually moving out.
yeah, that bounce looks bouncy. I'm gonna go ahead and cut right there. If you added with size or you added 2 or 3, I'm gonna go ahead and cut most of this off right here. That means that if I'm leaving 1, I've got 2, so I'm gonna leave the first original entry that was up here. That's green, and cut that second one. And if we go below this candle close, then I'll reconsider. But I have to react to what I see. If I see a bounce off support, yeah, that's bouncy right there. Yeah. So right now I'm still at a win. I'm still in a W on this one. But again, my projection for today was red to green, which would still play into this rising wedge. So let's see what we get.
Wow, holy shit, I can't believe Tesla actually bounced 750. Wow. It wasn't one of those straight bounces where you just talking about it.
Oh my god, I had to block that guy. It's so annoying. All right, I'm gonna take this as a sign, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out right here. No problem. I'm not gonna play this immediate upside. You're more than welcome to. But I was just playing this downside, and I'm gonna be patient because I'm not trying to scalp y'all. I'm not trying to trade from here to here, and then wait for that, whatever comes. I'm gonna wait for this resistance at the top to get hit, and then if it does get hit and it gets broken, I'll play it to the upside, and if it does get hit and rejects, I will play it to the downside. So, I am out of Facebook.
So here's the thing. If we're looking for a bounce, bounces happen two ways. We get the initial top of the level and we basically bounce, or we come down, we break the level, and we go long once the level is reclaimed. Our stop is a low. So, for example, if you found 750, you would have waited until that candle gave that hold above, gone long, and then your stop would have been 745 because that's where that weight trade all the way through.
Why?
Right? For a potential move into 760 or even 765. So it would have been a 5 point risk to make 10 points. Does that make sense?
Levi, what do you what did you hold on to that went down 65%, dude? There was nothing that I answered that went down 65% today. So all right, real quick for anybody on YouTube or really even TikTok, you guys are at a delay. All right, so you're at a disadvantage just by being present on these platforms. Like, and that's one of the reasons why, I'm not much, I do scout, but it's kind of one of those things that like it's more for hedging purposes or like just to catch a quick trade. I've never been one to like signal scalps to try and like relay those through YouTube. So I should reiterate that more, that there is a delay. So if something is being scalped, you need to look at your chart as well and make sure that it's holding up in the same manner as it was before. Otherwise, you could end up just getting burned. So. How about SQ? SQ is about to go up to 91.44, I believe, or 91.70. Everything just went in for what looks to be their third channel. So everything has the same setup right now. Let me show you really quick. So 15-minute on Square. I'll post that. mRNA. Quick 15% done. That was a nice downside play on Tesla. Yeah, it was sweet. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. I have 150 as a target to the upside on mRNA hunt, as we discussed, I think, this weekend.
In my opinion, it's 16.3 versus.
Oh my lord.
155, yeah. If you listen, there's always gonna be like there should be no, if you have done what you're subduing right now, you are just doing your job. There should be no anxiety right now. If you're feeling anxiety about something that you're about to do or going to do, then you probably shouldn't do it. So I met White Claws Coda for the quarter by myself this weekend. Jesus.
Yeah, what Max just said, I'm not posting down more. I just activated my trader message. An example of what a trader view is, here's some trades from I think this is the end of January. But this is what it basically is. You see the fill, and you see the timestamp. I'll bring those back. This is, I'm not trading with my full GP. This is very annoying. I did not miss getting skipped on the bid. Not miss. They skipped me twice.
Be patient, everybody. If you're not in something or you're, huh?
They're skipping my bids.
Skip them. You take what you get what you deserve.
Basically, that's options, dude.
That's options. You get what we give you.
That's missing. I mean, my whole family got COVID, so I guess that's why vaccine stocks are moving. Oh no, it's dropping. Yeah, well, guess the vaccine got affected.
I mean, Jesus Christ. It's 1 5-minute 1 5-minute candle. You guys gotta stop watching the 5-minute, man. I tell you what. The 5-minute is ruining your life.
The funny part is that the 5-minute red candle It's just setting up a 15-minute window.
I was just about to say, dude, like this actually looks pretty cool actually, because I mean if it holds, it's not bad. What you got is a breakout retest. So you're retesting the level that you broke. You're at your point of control. I would say any kind of bounce on this particular candle up to 148.50. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you should. Yeah, you got to know what your strategy is. You know, I could have scalped Facebook to the downside, 100%. I could offer the first entry, but that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. So like I don't take trades and try and execute them and change my strategy midway. Yeah, I could have held it. I could have day traded, whatever. But that's what I could have, would have, you know what I mean?
That time frame is closely trading.
Classic. DJ, you need a t-shirt line.
Yeah, dude.
Should call it "That's Not Gonna Happen."
That's the thought. We already had a 750 bounce into almost 760. I don't think there's more juice left on the upside. Unless we see spike continue reverse up and the key as well.
Technology halted on.
Oh, it just started racing, so there goes like 8 times a day. Nice.
Is anybody in Zoom? It's the only thing that I've been like. It's probably the only thing I should have taken, but 105.50 is still the target. So do with that what you will. I am not getting into Facebook until it breaks. Okay, because it gets chopped right here all day. It needs to break. When it breaks right here, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get. If it doesn't break, or if it does break and hold, I'm gonna go ahead and say in. If I'm in a 192.50. All right, just so everybody knows, it's gonna be around for the same fill that it was before. There is a bounce level that's the 192.70, right? That's where we're bouncing right now. And until we break, I'm out. If you did add to Baba, this one's going for $96. If we break 96, 94. Yeah, gotta relax. I love this. Now, here's human music. Oh, you're still in Zoom from last week? That's some madman energy, dude. Wow. You're traveling and couldn't trade. Damn. That's nice. 105.50, so F Baba. Very, very nice. I like it. All wait, whoa. Pioneer extra 25K. Do you have a recommendation on what to place it with? Very basic here. I would recommend taking all of that money and completely forgetting that you have it. Completely forget that it's even your BP. It does not. It's mine now. You can have it back later. No, you need to not be asking somebody what you need to be buying. It is not that hard, and it doesn't take that much effort to start learning about what it means to buy a company. And it depends on what you're doing. Are you swing trading? Are you trading stocks? Are you investing? Those are questions you have to ask yourself before getting into this stuff. Don't feel impatient right here, y'all. This is doing exactly what we talked about. Look at Facebook. Imagine all the people who probably shorted off of there. Nothing here, just waiting.
There's so much demand, and that 750 zone for Tesla. Like, oh, why it keeps reversing so aggressively there?
Okay, if this guy goes through my trash can, I'm going to. No, don't do it. It took me 3 hours.
And Tesla keeps holding that 745 level. There's a good chance they can just chop in range till because they're gonna spy, right? So spy is trying to move up.
Versus
The Q is trying, so the Q is very top right now. So
June 1st.
Spy is good, the dial is good, but the Hughes is the lagging one, right? Like I always say, that's the lagging one right now. So if Tesla can catch it and hold this bid that keeps chopping it up, I'm pretty sure it can go to high. But we need a full market reversal.
Battery fire factory.
Rivian had a fire. Rivian had a fire at their factory. Oh my God! Look at it.
One got burned. Nothing, right? There's nothing there. It's empty. Seriously, like one got burned. Nothing.
Maybe some blueprints.
Why?
Oh my God.
That kid, bro, who we found on my Instagram one time. He's like, "Oh, I know you got the Raptor. You should have gotten a Rivian truck." Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Let me get a Rivian truck.
Yeah.
Not right now, okay.
Bro, I gotta build my own truck, bro.
What do people use like the 1 and 5 second charts for? Normally seizures, I mean, any type of convulsing. Oh, did you? I would say that there are extremely high frequency traders that are residing on that time frame. What they do, I don't know. So I've never used it. I think I've tried to use it in ways that it's not meant to be used. So yeah, I don't see any reason. I think that if you're watching the tape and you're watching like something really extremely low time frame, you could learn a lot from it. But there's no way to really actually react to something like that with, again, not like that would just be absurd. Yeah, especially if you try to trade like a shorter time frame with options. Oh man, those premiums don't catch up automatic. The workers got burned, just running around in circles. Oh no. It's a great company, guys. You guys know I'm not long on Rivian. I'm not long on Rivian. So you said that 610 at very low, but the 6.
So I think I need to.
You put 610 twice.
Look, again, the bounces are the initial reactions to the key level. It's not it focusing, right?
Yep.
And then reclaim. And then that's when you had that candle shoot all the way to like 148.50. That was your bounce, right? From 940 to 945, that was your bounce.
Yeah.
But it gets met by sellers.
Look at that 192.90 level on Facebook. So same thing, y'all. Like exactly what he's saying. Like that bounce right there, right? As it comes, like that's a play right there. That's man. That's something that I think I wish I would have spent more time on doing, is understanding what strategies are out there and how people use them. Like even like that 3 minute, the orb or bounce strategy that Manny's talking about, like that bounce right there. Like you really have to think inversely. You have to forget what you've been taught about breakouts and all that other stuff, because it doesn't exist there. So yes, so if you're not a scalper, what he's saying doesn't matter to you. Well, it doesn't matter on that higher time frame. It matters because it's Manny.
The 5 minutes. What's that?
I like sleep with the disruptive treatment.
Watch for Hey, I'm shorting Rivian right here. Sorry, Manny. I'm shorting Rivian. I am the fire. I'm going $30 strikes outside of the money right now. They're at 101. I was trying to get filled at 97 while I was talking. Stop talking. SPX is fun sometimes. I trade SPX like once or twice a year. Yeah, Rivian target is 29.28. If you're in Baba, huh, no, if you're in Baba to the downside, and you entered, this is where you take those. I'm taking profits. So if you got any profits on Baba, I need it to move lower below 96, but I'm not making a bet on that. I only was trading it down to there, so watch that. It can go farther. Thank you for the feedback. Do you or your company manage small accounts? I do not manage small accounts for people. The only thing that I have considered doing as of late is there's a company that's just started called Hedge. And it's basically like a user hedge fund. So everybody just deposits what they want in there, and then like the computer calculates it. All the paperwork is done through them. I thought it'd be fun, but then at the same time, I also have had daydreams of the nightmares that could come with that as well. So, very much, not okay with not doing it as well. So, oh man, that's true. Don't say that. Stop that. Stop that. Get out of here, you little shit. It's off to see, again, taking advantage of his mic opportunities to lure me into shorting Baba. Huh? No, like two. No, he's that kid who watches two kids like kind of like get into it, and then like right as they walk away, he's like, "Yeah, that kid just talked about your mom," and then like, oh. All right, if you're in Rivian, we're doing Rivian things right now. I am watching. Facebook looks really good to break here, but if it doesn't break, guys, so I'm gonna load up those same contracts that I was just talking about. I think I might. If this is too big for you, don't do it. But I'm gonna go ahead and 197.50 here. If you have any Baba love, or if you're still in Baba, F Baba, and you've got $95 now. All right, we have to break 192.50. We have to. There's a huge wall there. If you're not in, maybe wait until we break that. I got in before that, so last chance and Mark Zuckerberg. Yes, I'm going right outside of the money weeklies. I'm not going long on anything yet because I don't see anything long yet. I'm playing the downside and then anticipating a long upside. So. I just got a great idea. I'm gonna start a hedge fund on that hedge app and only buy the opposite of what Jim Cramer says. Yeah. No, we will. Well, I don't think it's out. It's not like on the market though, is it? Yeah, they post the returns on it. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Liquidating right now, sending you all of my money. I still do say red to green. Yes, I think that we see red to green. What is what? What is grav? Oh, I was like, you want me to show you? No, just kidding. Hey, interesting. Got a little gap up there. Facebook, do your stuff. Please go down now. Grab is a Singaporean company. Man, that was a good word to say. Singaporean. Yeah, they'll be good long though again. Gra- I bought SQ and it's going straight down. Why'd you buy SQ? I mean, you're holding support right now. You're okay. Um. Oh, don't do it, Facebook. Y'all, if Facebook bounces here, I'm gonna go ahead and just call this a channel. And we will do exactly what I just said that we will do. So 100%. It was another entry, but if we break, great. If we don't, do not. I already said red to green today, and that we. So if you guys don't feel what's happening right now, is this is the feeling of knowing that a stock can go or should be going down or pushing lows based on how many rejections that you've seen. But it can and still will hold this bounce. Oftentimes, especially on these lower time frames. So you aced the pronunciation. Whoa, pal, that's my job to harass. Yeah, he was rewarding them. We've got to have yin and yang in here, dude. Can't have constant. He just. You're the popping thing. What are you talking about? Is it your bird? You're sounding crazy. That hedge app reminds me of eToro. Yeah, this is the thing. I've have never been and never managed anybody else's money except for those closest to me and myself. And through, obviously with them, it was just they're sitting next to me, they're near me. Yeah, I don't hear any pops either, dude. You got arthritis or I don't know, man. Maybe it's goofy. It's got to be, dude. Just yell at him; it'll stop. It was John. If you're in Facebook, guys, if you grab multiples of those, I'm gonna trim out of one of those just because we've had trouble holding. I'm gonna clear one, and then I'm gonna leave one again, small position sizing right now, just because it's not moving down. If you're in Rivian, this thing's moving like molasses at the pond water, or whatever. 29.90 is where you could start to look to trim or TP, but I'm seeing bounces happening. I'm seeing a lack of conviction to the downside. So if we're moving slow down, that means that that normally is going to set me off. Yeah, I'm going to be looking for levels to bounce. The Q's got a gap to fill. We talked about this last night, 299.25, and that would give us a perfect retest. And it's totally possible. So this is actually a huge retest level right here, which is 303 or 304. So when Jersey girl, are you buying SQ? Like when you buy, are you buying stock and then trading it, like quick trades that way? SPY loses 410. I'll take Facebook below 192. Join us, my friend, please. I've got 191.60 right here.
Yeah. If somebody had a personal problem like Garrett does with Mark, I just with me, I don't know. I just said the whole thing down. Mark's got personal. You know, a lot of people in Silicon Valley. Oh, they do it. Learning. They just know they have to deal with it.
I personally like I think that human beings like him, I truly believe that at some point, like I mean he was a sheltered individual, for sure. But at some point you get basically the world at your fingertips. I can't imagine what that does to like the human psyche if he had one. And I don't know. I just feel like that at that point you lose perspective and like a grasp on what reality is for the majority of people, and then people hate you. Yeah, disconnected. He's just trying to grow some sweet baby rays. That's really it, you know. And everybody's like harassing about this social media company that he stole. He's like sweet baby Ray. That's I wouldn't really say that's like that's just like standard issue taste. Like that's the taste that you're given. Like if anybody says that, oh, the big egg, that's because he just looked up most expensive grill and bought it. That's what he bought. Yeah, he had no. He walked into the he walked in the HR room. He's like, "Oh, hey guys." So I was looking to incinerate some carcasses. I don't know why. I just imagine this dude's. I've heard some of his interviews. It's the one with the jacket. It's excruciating. Oh yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard to remember how to drink water in front of people. I have to practice at night. Have you seen the interview where they ask him to remove his jacket? What? Are you serious? He was on a talk show and they're like, "Yeah, you never removed that jacket," and he's like, "Man's getting super sweaty." Is Rivian still good? Yeah, yes, it's going for what I'm looking to be a retest. If you're in Rivian or if you trimmed out a Rivian, good. I still see more downside. Yes. Bank of America actually has a rare uh, megaphone, an ascending megaphone. So watch for a 3690 pullback, or watch for a pullback period, because if it does get a pullback, it's probably going to reverse. Um, and then higher time frame, obvious support here. Okay, watch 3611. I think that's 3611. Bezos definitely taking steroids, 100%. He takes he's juiced up, dude. He was probably juicing on the way to space. Yeah, don't do that.
No, whatever you got down there, it's not hanging. It's pelvis, bro. That dude's just a shooting up. But he's just doing the same shit that the Nordics are doing.
I'm gonna say something inappropriate. Goes off and says something inappropriate.
Say. Oh, you did. Dynasty, come on, man. Being overseas, like I didn't really have her discussion. Between face with
Shit. All right, here's the bounces everywhere. Look at Facebook. Everybody, look at Facebook now. If you are in Facebook, consider not being in Facebook. I think this is that red to green we're talking about. Watch Facebook above 193 or 194 even for that run up. We have yet to break this trend line, so I'm anticipating recovering it and bouncing back up. For Rivian, if you are in Rivian, and again, look at what's above you. All right. Don't let these 5-minute candles keep like causing you to like freak out. I mean, the 15-minute candle wick is definitely something to be, concerned about. But I don't think at the moment that we have much, we don't have to be worried about this at the moment. So not yet. And if it does, or if you want to hedge yourself as it moves above 3120 or 3130, really. So that would be the only area. Right now, everything is very weak to the downside. So SQ, look at these weak candles. Could see SQ pull off a rebound.
And the weather stopped. Really trying to go off.
I wish it would rain. Why are you not watching Mullen after the news this morning? Because it's not on my watch list. I went through this phase as a trader where like every morning, like I was trying to find the hottest stock or like what was gonna like move. And you know what I realized? That like the more that I chase after everything that moves, like the more you just end up running around in circles, like and trying and then bad holding. How many stocks run and then never, I mean, never move again? I mean, how many people could buy a Beyond Meat contract every time they come out with some random ass partnership news and then they're burned forever because that contract never returns to any sort of value? So I just I don't deviate from my plan. There are so many gains to be made. If I knew about Kodak the night before it happened, right? We knew that something might happen. We saw unusual option activity. And then the next day, right, I had some semblance of an idea and it was all on my watch list. I didn't do that, Beyond contract that's 250 right now will be $10 in 10 minutes when the news dies. 100%. Chris, be patient. Wait for 37.32, 37.35. If you break above that, I would say out, but watch for an actual rejection because this could be a really good support play. Could be good.
Oh.
Yeah, Biden held a meeting with the Fed chair because I mean, like, wait, will hold. Yeah, yeah. Today is Monday. That's it. It's settled.
That's more it's supposed to be.
So like the days that I would like look into playing something like penny stocks is usually days where I have or because if penny stocks move most of the time the market's moving, so there's something else for me to take, right? I'm not a penny stock trader, never been have been. I think for 1 month and 1 month only, I called out like some pretty good pennies, and then I just never did it again because it's just too much for me. I just like yeah, there's no like key level. It's just like almost like guessing. Everything is the tape. Everything is squeezing, rounding. It's just pain in my ass.
Sorry, I hit my breaking point on SPY.
Did you make a pretty penny? I did actually make some pretty good money on penny stocks. Yeah, Atlas was there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, if you're in Rivian and I mean like you want to skedaddle or something like that, or if it's hitting your stop loss, then obviously do what you got to do. All right. That's the end of it. I personally still see them as short, and I have already trimmed out of contracts. I'm going to continue to hold, and I'm going to hold probably 3140, 3130, like I was just stating before. So if you don't want to hold through there, did I sell? Yes, I did. I did. I got out. Facebook is likely going. So The way that again, the price action hasn't been perfect, but the way that I've thought this out, the red to green, we went red off the gap, we went to support, which is 192.80, and we have struggled to hold it with just bullshit volume. So if you're in downside, I don't see any more downside at the moment for Facebook until, I mean, honestly, could go for the third cycle and fall here. But I'm thinking we might actually see a Facebook moving up to resistance first, 196. So $31.18 Rivian hedge. Well, here's the thing: is this week's contracts worth hedging? You know, like at some point, if you're not out longer or down, then you don't. There's no need to hedge. It's just either you can add to that position if you really feel that strongly about it, but I'm still short on Rivian, and in fact, the fact that they're going higher now, I still see 29.50. Stop watching the 5 minute. I'm gonna take it off. Stop watching everybody. Stop watching the five. Stop it. I did. I'll do it again. Not kidding. Yeah, man. Might have some tasty trades at the end of the day. I will. Oh, okay. Damn.
Listen to, bro.
Who wants to trade Manny's account hard?
No, put it all with 0 TT, fine.
You know, if I blow up this account, that's how I want to blow it up, bro. On
0 TT is fine.
Yes.
Naturally, please remember that when we if we were to blow an account, right? That's we deposit money into our accounts each month to trade off of, so it's not like blowing your whole entire life. So just anybody out there. Yeah, that was a good opener there.
So here's what you do.
Oh god.
No, class.
I love that I chart resistance and support, then you go and do the same thing and it's correct. That is 100%. Yeah, that's amazing. And the fact that you're putting in, I mean, that right there is excellent effort. Seriously, great job. The fact that you're charting alongside and trying to learn, that's good stuff. Okay, so really quickly, new people break. If you are new, these are getting to be what some would consider tougher trading conditions. No, I do not see a Rivian hedge. If you would like to, you can go ahead and get out of it. If this yellow line is where things are likely going to almost like squeeze up, I'm short until then, right? So if you wanted to, yes, above 31.30. If you wanted to, you could look for 31.50 and 31.80. The way that I would hedge myself if I was going to be crazy and do that is I would likely go outside of the money this week and I would use greater size. So, and I would have to be absolutely certain. I'm not absolutely certain. So, he's right. All I do, I almost sent a picture of my gun to show, but then I was like, nah. It's so cool though. I sent you guys. That's right. I sent you guys a picture last night. I sent you guys a picture.
Just tag Justin Trudeau. Oh my god, that'd be a bad idea.
That's funny. Did a Facebook lotto call? Yeah, I mean, if you watch Facebook go to 196, if you want to play it, play it. But I want the setup to break out or break down. I want to play the setup, not the inside and out of it. And that's knowing my place, right? I'm not doing something that I didn't sign up to do. I'm doing exactly what I stated I wanted to do. So, make a plan, stick to it. Right there. So look at Facebook. Right here. 1, 2, 3 supports. You've got support there. Candle close engulfment. You've got 4 minutes left. If that candle closes above it, it needs to get above 194, which is the 9-day moving average, and then you can move to the upside. But otherwise, if you kept holding down below this, then I would. But that's if XLE all-time highs. I'm off the course and ready to... Oh, damn, let's go.
That really.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Top four, rip through 9 holes. Wanted to play more, but too much money in play. Taking some chips off the table on energy. It just keeps dripping, but
Seriously.
I run the
It does just keep ripping, dude. Like, literally.
I know. Well, if you look back at my post, man, yeah, I've been calling this since Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I was thinking 8 would be like the roof, but now they're saying 10.
Dude, I don't even think we've seen the roof for gas.
So all the refiners are running at max capacity. So even if we had better policies, and there's nobody to, yeah, it's a supply story. So yeah. We're always 6 to 9 months before we're thinking. Remember the last time it sniffed 130, the rug pulled down to 92, or for 30 grand like in a day on paper. I know, but that never feels good. Yeah, no, of course, it's painful to see it, but when you know it comes back. We're gonna get rug pulled. 617 has so much flow. It's like kind of goofy. But usually when it's that high, usually those people get rushed. So. Yeah. That's not through the magic hundred. I mean, that's not an all-time high. All-time high is 104 and change. But obviously, a lot of clear resistance there, 99 and 86. So it keeps bumping up against it. Probably end of the day, looks like today's probably the kind of a swan song for me. I'm getting out of all my 617 stuff. That's fool's gold. We're in profit. What do you guys? What's hot today? I'm just literally going on course. I've been watching the Spy and some of the big cats. That's it. It's more for me.
Yeah,
I have it, man. I have a lot of weakness, man. A lot of weakness.
See,
Charge. I mean, there was the funny candlesticks, showing that. And look, we should inch higher, and we're at
that
we have a couple weeks of trading there to the upside.
I think, Rolly, I think that we might see a green to red. Well, we've already seen red to green. That was the morning prediction. I think that we're going to see a slow kind of like roll up, and then we'll pull back, and then I think tomorrow's going to be. I think, like you said, we're going to be green, going into the week because I think we just ran up super really like just on a lower time frames. We've ran up so hard so quickly with no retest of any levels that we broke. So I think even just a simple retest going into tomorrow maybe that like kind of look that we need to see. So but again,
even you have like your 5 days in a row stale green light. I mean, it looks like we should have a little more upside. That's starts trading way technically last week. Damn, Tuesday looks like crazy, and it's funny that it all went back to this. It's funny that they always go back to key levels. And it did. Closing Friday, everything. What the targets I gave? Just I didn't have the balls to trade it, or would have made a fortune. But funny how everything always earnings. It always comes back to certain levels.
Always. Yep. That's why those are good, always good basics, finding those supply, demand, support, resistance.
Yeah, I mean, we had somebody triple last week. I mean, I'm like, I'm getting out. And it just kept ripping. It was still fun though, but all those targets hit. But God, when you triple bag it, you got to take chips off the table.
400%. Yeah. That's a good question. So Spy form.
This Apple doing is kind of
What is what doing?
125, 35. I might look at it. So 745. Went all the way down to 737.
I'll be back. Come on.
There's Ryan's still weak. I gotta put on Ryan's. I think it's possible all over. Is that like he moves. That one is it's at 718 right now. Okay. Yeah, it's that nuts for that crash.
Shorted to $4.
That's going into the sixes. It needs another week to marinate.
It doesn't have a floor until 446.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah. I mean, this thing can fall for a while.
And then on a longer time frame, it'd be talking about downward channel.
Getting ready. I think if it maybe has like another little pop today or tomorrow, this thing would, once it comes back down, it's gonna break that lower level at 550, 58, 40.
Yeah, there's some pumpers on it, the crypto, but it's all in light volume.
Yeah. There, it's losing once the stock market started losing a lot of volume, especially in growth. Crypto started doing the same thing.
Yeah, and the selling volume. I mean, look at the spikes on the red candles.
Oh, it's nasty.
Yeah, so people are like, get from out of here. XLE, yeah. Chasing energy at this point is, boy, you better be quick.
Late.
Yeah. Well, you're late to the party. We've been doing this the whole year.
Yep.
That's the main reason I'm up big league. The only great sector here today. All right, let me play it up. I do have some trades and stuff. Give me about 15 and we'll start trading.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right.
That's so cute. So low. What is this thing, man? It's alert company?
Rivian, that yellow line right there, 31.30 is where I was saying if you wanted to set your stop for Rivian. I'm still short on it. Still don't see anything. I see a little bit of consolidation and possibly a push up to 31.70, but there's still, again, a big pullback here, and it's still running with everything else. SPY has a what looks to be a bear flag right now, but we'll see if that holds. I'm still in. Yeah, I'm not caught, so. Slow upside bleed here. If anybody took Facebook though, you hit 195. Might have a little bit left, 196.14.
Fubo's at 335.
By the way, Facebook is building one of the reasons why I think this is happening. Whether we're building up or not, I think this is just I think this is just simply a rising, at the moment, a rising wedge. But we'll see. Okay, it looks like it's more doing that.
Wonder how Kathy's doing.
What?
I wonder how Kathy's doing.
Hopefully she's repositioning on these pumps.
Hopefully she's not went off the cliff.
Oh. Yeah, be patient if you're not already in anything. Tom, make sure to, I got your email already, but listen, dude, that is why we exist. Know that we're here. If you still have questions, we're live and everything like that. But that is exactly our purpose. So yeah, man, let me know how we can help in the future. So that's good stuff. All right. So if you would like, right, what you can do is start setting alerts for yourself so that you can walk away from the charts. We don't want to sit here. I'm telling you, it is mentally exhausting. Chess players burn like 8,000 calories playing chess. So if anybody ever tells you this stuff isn't mentally exhausting, it is. So give yourself higher time frame candles. So if you're watching the 5, maybe move over to the 15 and start setting some alerts. So obviously Facebook here, 193.80. Might see another short position there. Still looking pretty bearish at the moment, at least lower time frame, shorter like distance. I think we still have more upside, but on a macro scale. But right now, I believe that we probably are going to see some continued shot. What is my opinion on scalpers? I mean, like the people who scalp, terrible people, all of them. No, they're just like you and I. I don't know. They I don't know how to answer that question. It's a good strategy for people who do not want to spend a whole lot of time in the market. If you have the mechanics down, which usually you can do by just practicing those entries and those exits, you can do it on with $500. Practice the mechanics of it. Learn strategies that are currently in use. There's the strat using the 20 MA that people use for scalping. There's orb strategy. There's Manny, the strategy that Manny uses, bounces. So there's multiple different ways to scalp. I am on YouTube. But I mean, again, um, every strategy, and I posted this in my Discord about a week ago. Every strategy goes through a drawdown. So it's good to use these opportunities when your strategy is not working to learn, the sometimes it's not, you don't have the possibility of scalp, but that's a downfall that's not shared with just scalping. Obviously there's every strategy goes through a drawdown, or just a period of indecision, where things get a little bit tougher than they were. Swing trading can get tight as stocks move into consolidation phases. You got to look real long and stay long, and have that long vision. Rolly's got it. But at the end of the day, not everything is going to look perfect. So, what is the best exchange for options trading? I think Lightspeed got to be one of the number one brokerages. If you are in Rivian and you want to just don't sit and suffer, either just get out, or if it's up to you. I'm not cutting yet because I still see pullback on the market, and I think that Rivian's just moving up with it. I still am looking. I'll double check here. Yeah, until Rivian gets above 31.75, it is in at no way any danger to me at the moment. And what I'll do is I'll grab next week's contracts and I'll play it down in addition to this week's. If it does continue to rise and move past my stop loss, you guys know that I do have a target for Rivian to the upside. So I will flip my script and recover my losses either by doubling down on what would likely be a run up to the gap, which is $33, and into the gap, which is 33.70. But again, I'm still short on Rivian, and I believe that Rivian is possibly still likely to go to about 29.83. So Alaska and Hawaii are the two prettiest states in our country. Both are great vacations. Nice. I think Oregon and Washington definitely are up there, but they just look one kind of pretty, It's not tropical paradise. Oh yeah, Texas definitely the prettiest. I'll let you have that one. It's all you. Yeah, so great. I've lived in Texas for a long time. I did actually have some pretty good experiences there. So real quick, Facebook above 195.80 is that 200-day EMA target that I'm talking about. That's where we'll likely see it move. So yeah, I've lived in most every single southern state below the top of Missouri. Including some northern states as well. All right, I'll grab something for Rivian here. Hal speaking at 10:15. It's already 10:15. We talk about it later on. When is he speaking? If he's speaking, all I'm watching is Spy right now. Because Spy is really telling us a whole lot. I mean, it's kind of it's absurd. Yeah, it's being held down at 413.12. 413.05. That's where those are being held. For Rivian, you can do just 32s or something if you have to. I'm not yet. I'll let it hit that resistance before I take it short. I'm not going to long it until it breaks past it. Again, what I have in Rivian, I should also mention, is not a lot. So it's something that I can be a little bit more exploratory on. If it is a real a core position or something like that, or you've got equity in it, you know, the time to cut was right there. I said 31.20, and if it moved above that, then it could possibly go and test this 31.70, which is exactly what it's done. So just be careful. I'm waiting for the projection though, and I see it soon. You don't get this type of reversal, you know, like right off the bat and then just V-shape, very rarely. So we'll see. It could have been the news, but what I notice is when stocks make that M shape, they start to follow a trend. What are you looking at? And that's, that's good that you're noticing those little things. I'm looking at the $32 call, yes, for Rivian. It's got to break 31.80. All right, Facebook is up against my projected resistance right now, or it's moving up to, which is 196.06. So let's see what happens. I've noticed this pattern a lot. Where at? Are you talking about Macy's? Are you talking about? $32 call? Oh, I did. Oh, I meant Rivian. So Rivian, yeah, Rivian 32. You might see a strong move from Macy's here if Macy's breaks above 23.50. Oh, on a lot of different stocks. Okay, so you're seeing it all over. That's dope. All right, we're here. We're at 31. We're at the stop. So if you cruise above this, go ahead and you can take that hedge or cut those puts, or do a little bit of both. So if you break above like that R1 and you hold 32, then more than likely we'll see some continued upside. If not, and we see that pullback or we see a rejection, that's one of the reasons I'm not going to long where I'm looking at for a rejection. The time to long was 32, so 31.2 or 31.22, excuse me. What is my obsession with Macy's? Macy's is just one of those. It's one of the better movers in that sector. Can you explain in Fortnite terms? Yeah, the server shuts down at above $32. You can't play Fortnite anymore. That's all I got for you.
You said that names as most souls in this needs to be damn.
Yeah, Baba's pulling back a little bit. Everything is up to resistance now. Yeah, I've got everything at resistance at the moment. Look at the cues. I'm really curious to see what happens right now. Where's this volume coming from?
Yes. Here we go.
What the fuck am I listening? Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was talking earlier. Yeah, I'm here.
Give it a minute.
Compose.
What?
Inbox.
Oh God.
Who is that?
That was I was about to read my emails out. I have like the little app that reads shit for you. Here's what compose.
It is like horror punch there.
Is this platform Lightspeed? No, this is TradingView. That's what you're looking at right now. So Square's up against downtrend, up against resistance. Facebook is up against resistance. Really curious to see what happens here. Do we break?
You know what I think, bro? We're gonna spike in that high of yesterday, 415.31. And then I'm gonna take it short.
There's Rivian, first sign of a rejection at 32.16.
Also, the volume today is absolutely doo-doo. Eliminated on SPY against really low. Excuse me.
Okay, there's a rejection here on Facebook. Nailed that. 196.05. If I was a scalper, I would have taken it short. So if you're wondering when I'm going to take a position or like what I'm waiting for, real quick, I'm not scalping. If I was a scalper, different story. But this is a rising wedge on Facebook, and it does have a resistance above it at 198, but also has the need for a pullback. It's had a pullback this morning, which was down to that 191 area. But of course, it's up against resistance. So if we do end up seeing a rejection, we could see a Facebook down around 190.30. So this is kind of the point where I'd like to see either a definitive break. But one thing to note is that we do not have the greatest volume at the moment.
Nope. It's awful.
AMD is ripping today. I have a target actually on AMD. I'm thinking 105.75. I don't know, like immediately if that's gonna happen today, but that's the target that I have at the moment.
Wow, AMD's got really good volume today.
Yeah, it's actually holding up. What is Nvidia doing? You know, I chose Nvidia's holding up okay.
AMD rejected the high of day from a couple weeks ago. So just be careful.
Y'all, look at this chart on Nvidia. I haven't moved a single solitary thing, and it's wicked off of the same level and bounced off of that same level. So that's just enough for me to know that we're just keeping range right now. And those of you who are new and are looking to take things like I'm talking about, right? So I'm not looking at taking Facebook until it gives me a break of these smaller, lower time frame consolidation patterns. That way I can take a more definitive position. So if you're feeling impatient and you're trying to day trade, well, you got to have more patience because sometimes you got to let things set up and you can't just switch strategies all willy-nilly trying to scalp everything when you don't scalp. So.
Guys, I'll say this.
Sounds
Just
like
keep that high of day on SPY on the Qs marked. Because I do think we might see some strong rejections at those points. And we might not get there until power hour.
we're not actually seeing any flow either. I'm not seeing any
Oh,
flow.
was it dead?
I'm not seeing any flow. Nothing. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Today we got decent flow. Nvidia call sweep 200, Baba 100 sweep. This came in at like 1040.
Was the Asian market in the European market exposed or something?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay. Interesting.
Google calls, CLX puts, Costco calls, Costco puts. All right, we're getting that follow through rejection on so we need to see Facebook back down to 194, and then at that point, I'm gonna actually set some alerts now. I'm gonna take a little break, I think, and just
Guys, before you go real quick, I want to just make sure everybody. So Salesforce and CrowdStrike, and MongoDB had earnings on Wednesday. I think. Oh, actually, Salesforce has earnings today. CrowdStrike has earnings on Thursday, and MongoDB has earnings on Wednesday. All tech companies. Salesforce is like a sales tech company. The other two are like actually like cloud services / security. I think these are really worth watching. Then we trade the run up something if there is a run up, or trade them on the downside. But you should see some type of movement on these three stocks: Salesforce, CrowdStrike, and MongoDB. Sorry, go ahead, man.
So really quickly, SQ. Couple of people asked me about this one. Watch SQ if it does move up any further to 90.50. All right, that's got no volume and it's moving up. Facebook at the moment is rejecting that trend line. So literally, if you guys remember the drawing that I had put down here earlier, this is exactly what happened. So it did bounce. It did go to resistance. This resistance marks whether we end up going long or short. If I'm not here and it does break this, obviously, if you're in the Discord, I'm going to leave my stream running. But if it does break this in the time that I'm eating, 196.15 with volume. Right now, we are in consolidation patterns, right, with low volume and really, I wouldn't even say much sense of direction. So take that as the chart's talking to you, and pay attention to it. And if you do not see anything, which I do not quite yet, I see maybe a couple of early entries I could start, moving into, like, if I really, Facebook short does look tempting. But at the same time, it has no volume, and volume is the amount of shares traded. And in order to get a stock to move, it needs to have higher volume, especially on average, in order to get that move, or just high volume period, in which we don't have. So any move that I think might happen or may look like it may happen could possibly not happen, for that exact same reason. So please keep that in mind. If you lost a bit of money, or a little bit of money today, the day is not done. Save your BP if you still have it, if you haven't blown it. If you don't see a setup, don't take it until you see it. And just wait for these higher probability setups to go. These little tiny bumps and scrapes that we get, climbing in and out of things, it's part of trading. I don't know if you guys noticed, I try, very rarely do I get like pissed off or like actually mad about it. Just if when I do start to feel those like kind of like, damn it type feelings, it's usually just reverting back to like, okay, we just had a good week. It's literally the first hour of the day, so just rational thinking usually will help out with the emotional. So I will let you guys know if I decide to jump into Facebook short. So, but this, yeah.
That's a big thought. I did not realize Baba absolutely crushed earnings. Wow.
Yeah, but they still showed the future impact of COVID, like with these COVID lock
Was guidance bad?
guidance was iffy.
Okay. I'll go back and see if I can just get a quick overview.
Yeah, let me know what you think, because
Yeah.
I'm not like a,
The numbers just based on what I'm seeing. It wasn't amazing. I'll say that. But it was decent. So, which kind of here's another thing about that too, Garrett. Like I've been thinking about this. So, all right, with the amount of lockdowns China's had, okay. So with the amount of lockdowns they've had, I was expecting spending to have also decreased because of the bonds that we've been seeing that haven't been paid on the private sector side,
right.
For the building of housing and stuff. I'm surprised Bond was being, even though Bond was international company, like they're not just making their stuff from China. I need to go back. I need to go back and look and see how much, because I think this is stated on their website, on their financial statements, how much of their revenue is China revenue, and how much of their revenue is international. Because that's going to really be a good piece to understand. Like, are Chinese people really spending more, or are they spending less?
So I'm reading about it right now. Alibaba's stronger than expected fiscal Q4 commerce revenue gain raises the likelihood of a speedy recovery of the internet's giant retail consumer units by September quarter, assuming disruptions from COVID-19 on the mainland China fade. April commerce revenue probably dropped more than 7% from the year earlier, as China gross merchandise volume declined 10% amid virus virus-led lockdowns. The company can stanch its slide if virus cases drop and cause restrictions to be lifted, spurring a rise in buying sentiment into fiscal 2Q, which I doubt would actually show up. I think that again, it's Chinese companies, but let's see here. Well, I'm still looking for. Doing a little bit of market research right now. Oh, well, how did I know that Baba's earnings report would be in Chinese? on their site.
I'll look for the translate.
My computer can translate it for me. It's part of a hierarchy of AIs. Extremely sophisticated. No, I was talking about my computer. It's not. It's just joking. Yeah, but it's still Chinese stock. Chop till power hour and then dump. I'm thinking that Baba actually might see it hit the dumpy real quick. If anybody's still watching Baba, watch it below that low the 96.65. If you do.
I think
Shit.
might have 100%. Maybe short. I'm not sure.
I might sneak into it. I see there's low volume everywhere.
He's long. Okay.
Hey, Turtlicious. Okay, you see something, all right? This is the moment. Okay, you see something right now. It's 100%. I see it too, but you're calling out the play, right? I see low volume on Bank of America. So what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you as far as like positions, like sizing? That probably means that your expiration, well, no volume, no trade. But if you see a higher time frame setup that you feel, which I'm going to say right now that I don't see it quite yet. So I think that you could even see another leg up if the overall market goes up. But I mean, this pattern on the lower time name, this 5-minute pattern, definitely looking super bearish. One could even draw a support here. There you go. So if you break out of this 5-minute channel on Bank of America below $38, if you decline down to there, then I would be inclined to take a short and look at it to pull down to 36.70. But that's too short, right? That's too small of a time frame. Look at the hourly, right? Because this is a low volume, doesn't move very quickly stock. You can't be playing it with weeklies. You have to be looking a little bit longer than that. So if it does give you that move to the downside, then perhaps you can look at 36.50. And depending on the trajectory of this, support is around $36.20. So let the trade come to you. Do the deciphering. It also has another wave up. If you see, this is a flag. So Bank of America can go up, but if it goes up on low volume, then it can go down on high volume. When we are shorting XOM bearish divergence until the daily with a huge rising wedge, I'd love to look at that for you guys. XOM on the daily? Oh, yes. This does have so I mean the thing about rising wedges that I try and teach like number one is like one of the top things is that they extend themselves. And they are actually very tricky to trade because I see your support, but I see a strong support, right? I see bounce, 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 heavy buying, heavy volume. So this thing worked out. I'll delete that now, I guess. I think yeah, and Rolly's called this out, and he's thinking that there's a rug pull coming too. If you have a chart, send it to me. Because at the moment, I don't see a rising wedge. I see a channel top, maybe. If you're just dividing, right? So watch this. So a lot of the times, if I can't find resistance, this is what I'll do. I'll clone the line and I'll just move it up, right? It doesn't always work, but a lot of the times, look at that. Body candle close there. So straighten it out a little bit, but a lot of the times that's how I find my... all top shelf trades are... Make sure to use that... Oh, he already alerted. Top shelf, make sure to do the at everybody or at here, so everybody hears your beautiful voice. Tell you what, Turtlicious, I like that you're watching something. You got your eyes peeled on something right now. I'm going to set some alerts here. Um, this is what I'm just going to walk you through what I would do right now. If it broke this right here, see this bottom line, and again, this is kind of over technical, but this trend line. So starting from the bottom, if it broke that, I would likely, right? I'm going to start targeting farther away. So let me go look at the strikes really quick. I don't know what your BP is, but you don't even have to tell me. I'm just going to tell you what I would do. Because if you can't do that, then obviously you need to come up with your own plan that fits and doesn't compromise. So 3650s, the volume is okay on those. For June 10th, is likely what I would leg into. So and again, these are contracts that are relatively cheap. You could even do with a 36 and 3650 and a $36 strike. And you could just make sure that you have these key levels marked out. So this is a level here. Here's another one. Perfect level. Another one. Another one there. So I would say the most reasonable target at the moment is 3650. So you could grab a 3650 strike, or if you want to, if you have the BP, you could go with a 37 strike, right? So you're spending a little bit more money, going with a closer in the money strike, and then you can go with a 37 or 3650 strike for this week. And hold it's good today, but it probably wouldn't be good for any other time after that. So I don't short support, and you are at support right now, so you would want to see confirmation on this, because you could springboard and launch back up and see 37, 35. So hopefully that makes sense. Jesus, we're anticipating 175 basis point hikes over the next year. Does that mean okay? Cool. All right. So that candle is breaking right now. The candle is breaking. But that's the key level, 3690. Rivian is rejecting R2. It's moving back down here to 3120. Macy's below 2287. Meta is showing that rejection that I was looking for. Look at that. Nice build up at the top. Some secret part of me right now kind of wants to grab a put and just dab out, like grab a little bit of time on the June 10th. Just take an early entry off the top here. 195s or 190s. Yeah, I think I like 190s. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take one and run. And I'm gonna leave my stream up, and I'm gonna tell you guys my stop loss, and I hope that nobody holds through it. If there's a candle that opens and closes above $96 or this trend line, I'm out. All right, I'm in an early entry. I'm filling at, well, I'm trying to 420, braise it. All right, I got one, and then again, Turtlicious, one last thing that I want to cover with you. One thing that always gives me confidence in my trades when I take them is knowing where I'll cut them, right? Knowing where that trend is likely to reverse. Okay, so if I was to see these candles closing below support, which hasn't happened yet, it needs to push down below this key level. But if I see that, right, I can set a stop either where I just entered. So this level that you lose, it's a key level for a reason. And if it does end up losing it, so if you look right here, 1, 2, 3, get a break. 1, 2, 3. This is also where you recover both candles. And so if it moved down and closed that candle, one could potentially take an entry there and have a stop loss above you candle close in here. But obviously that's not happening right now. It's holding a bounce. So, but I just took a Facebook short. Again, I'm setting an alert, and it's basically going to be above this 90. It's the trend line itself. Okay, so if it bounces and moves back up, like that's a whole different story because it's not a price mark. It's a breakout. And Facebook really, again, we're kind of going against the grain on this. But it's weak upside movement with low volume on a reversal pattern. So I can't do anything else but just take the position with expiration due to low volume and stick and abide by my stop losses. So, and again, risk is on right now. Risk is on. I am not using, I'm abiding by my risk management. Everything is tight. I'm not budging until I get the movement that I want, until we see that. So. XLEs, 85s are 400%. Good God, Wally. With a swing trade banking. Rolly's out of those XLEs for 400%. So Turtlicious, let me throw something out there, to pay attention to some of the information coming from Roland. When he's on live and in his channel. This is an individual whom I learned a lot from as well. So, and benefited my trading career strategy. We met and traded together. And he would honestly, I would tell him companies I had ideas on, and then he would help me with the follow through, or like tell me I was wrong, and or throw a couple different ideas out there. So it's like, or just give me the fundamentals on something. I just asked him about a company, and somehow he would know, some of the baseline stuff like that. So, like that's stuff that if you can't have time in the market or you don't have that already, it's good to be around people who do. So, but yeah, obviously somebody to pay attention to. So, yeah, if you're paper trading, go for it. Yeah, go for it. You know what I thought could be? I mean, like, it'd be kind of silly, but if you're one of those individuals who I've always thought, like, how could we incorporate an emotional bias to paper trading? And if you set your paper trading to a custom amount, like let's say you're gonna deposit $1,000 in your account, like set a goal, set a strategy, and then you cannot, like, you could literally say, like, until I actually paper trade this to my goal, I can't actually deposit real cash. And I wonder, if that would throw that extra little dynamic in there. But I'm just thinking. Anybody in Facebook with me? I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and I didn't get all the 400, but most of it, little FOMO. How can you show? Can I show you? How can I show you my chart on XOM? Tweet it to me, Kingle Legend. How would someone play earnings, or is it dumb to get into trades before earnings? Just as a straight up answer, yeah, it's kind of dumb. But there are ways to, and it has a lot to do with your account. If you have not a lot of money and you're looking to grow an account, that's not how you do it. Now, it'll give you a bump sometimes because you get lucky, but sustainably, not a good way to keep rolling. Let me really quickly mark this stop loss for Facebook before I go any further. So as it moves down, you can move your stop. So if it loses 194 at that point, right? Like I would probably, if it really flushed down, I would probably set that as my stop. Right now, everyone, 192.60 is the target for Facebook. That's the first target. I may, in between this time frame, if we lose that point of control, add a weekly, and that'll be the runner. Excuse me, that will not be the runner. That will be where I take profit on that weekly, and I will continue to hold and decipher movement, volume, and bounce on Facebook. Hunt, what are you about to say? Also, if you are in Rivian right now, and you want to trim out of, yeah, this is an early entry on Facebook. Turtlicious, what do you see, bro? What do you see right now? I'm asking real time right now. What's going on? Pay attention. Right there. There's nothing. What else? Right? There's nothing left to do. You can either just start legging in, right? You're confident that you will do what you say you're going to do by abiding by your rules, right? So because I don't think that you've gotten in here, you can wait for 96 or 36.90, right? Wait for that break, and then that's where you're going to see that next leg down. So why enter? So if I'm entering something in a low volume situation, Hunt, that has a longer expiration, it actually could be more beneficial for me. Because if I see a setup long, right, and there's no volume, that also means that there's probably low volume on options. Not always, but there is low volume now. So when that volume returns, you also just see a return of OI, IV, and more than likely, if volume comes in on the follow through, where else are you going to get this level of care and explanation? Oh, I read that all wrong. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Dave, your compliment just made me forget everything. I just forgot how to trade. Just forgot my name. So I think Bank of America could hold long because the short time frame seems bearish, but the long term seems bullish. I would not. I mean, okay, so yes and no. Yes. So short term, yes, I do think that, yeah, the pullback here, you do see a rejection off of what is projected to be resistance here pretty clearly. It even had that rising megaphone. A rising megaphone pattern is bearish on a technical basis. So if that's the case, then I would say that a return, and it's going to be difficult because we got to decipher movement here, on the lower time frame to kind of see where that exactly is going to start happening. That's why we're looking at the lower time frame so that we can get a good entry. But when we're looking at the chart and looking at like the play, we're looking at the higher time frame, hourly 15, and yeah, that's where you could see a leg down. There is a lot of volume around 3660. There's a lot. I don't even have to look at the volume profile, and I can tell you that that's the point of control. God dog. Damn. So yeah, exactly what I was just saying. A lot of volume down there. So I'd rather enter here, right, where all the pressure's built up. I mean, look at that. Look at what that chart is telling you. Okay, buyers were here. We're pretty strong. Volume drops off. You get the sellers. They just sells just a healthy selling retest, and then you get because usually after any retest, you get buyers stepping back up. They step back up. They run it up to resistance. Short it again. Okay. Not only are you shorted 37.33, that's your high of that candle. Your low is 37 cents or 37. So this downward pressure, if we break this level, would let me know that we're probably going to see, the move to 36.70. So we'll see what happens. But on low volume, so I'll reiterate myself, on low volume, all of that and what I just said could be changed very quickly with sentiment and volume. But again, if you don't like the trade, or if you kind of makes you feel nervous, then just don't. But can you elaborate on this low volume starter, because it can be tricky if you're newer? How do you leg in and on a volume break and volume spike? So in periods of consolidation, such as like okay, so right now we have low volume and we're consolidating, kind of building what looks to be a rising wedge. We've got 1, 2 bounces off support. We've got 1, 2, 3 bounces off resistance. So we've got a technical setup, right? But we also can zoom out a little bit further and just know that Facebook has moved very, very quickly to the upside and would just healthily need to see a pullback to like 192.85. Or really, I think that the pullback's around 191, but that's what we would need to see. So in periods of low volume, I will go with a expiration that won't be affected as badly, or if at all, by that low volume. Because what you don't want in options is you don't want chop. You don't want no direction. You want one or the other, because whether you like it or not, if you're losing money on a contract, somebody's making money on it. So you want direction. And range bound direction's fine, but you want direction. And so in this case, where I see a technical setup, the volume is relatively low. It doesn't hurt me to speculatively enter into that position with small size. So because and if you're new and you have a smaller account, like, these things don't abide by you. It's just this. It's just pick the most high probability play when the volume is near. If it's not here, you're not trading. Those are the kind of rules you have to kind of set for yourself. If there's no volume, there's no trade, and you walk away. If you are red on the day, or if you're green on the day and volume dissipates, it's the same thing in and out. So, but yeah, so I mean, I'm going to take a position regardless if I see a higher time frame setup and enough data points backing me up. And what I do, so this is how I've one of the, I guess, pivotal points in my trading career is when I just decided that, like, I wasn't going to be nervous anymore about, like, I'm nervous, like I still feel it, but like, I'm not going to be nervous about my entries. Like, I'm not going to, because I know that I have faith in myself to cut unless it's Bob, but I'm going to do what I say that I'm going to do at the levels that I say I'm going to do it, right? And I'm also like doing so I guess it's just faith in my analysis, right? Like I know that I'm going to, and I guess it's just repetition, but I'm going to pick the right target, and I'm going to be able to exit when I say I'm going to, because really it's not the entry for me. It's where do I stop out at? Because that's the point where I start thinking inversely to my trade. And that's the best thing that you can do, is start looking at what can go wrong, not to be, and I just posted this quote the other night. A couple of people retweeted it, but it's whatever. But not to be overwhelmed by what you imagine, but just do what you can and should. So in this case, right, it's good. We need to be able to theorize what could, but we don't live in fear of it, or we don't let that affect us emotionally. We just take the data and convert it into a logical move. So in this case, like with Facebook, right? 1, 2, 3 rejections off of our lower time frame downtrend. And then we also, right? 1, 2, 3. So we completed multiple different levels of those rejections. So at some point, I can't do anything but just enter the position with the proper protection, right? So in this case, we're going into, like a shitty situation. So I need to gear up with time behind my contract. That's the way that I see it. And I need to use good risk. So I'm using, for me, that's one contract. And what newer traders are confusing, and you have to know when to tune certain things out. It's a double-edged sword. there are going to be opportunities that are available for people with bigger accounts that are not available for you. And that's, again, there are harsh realities in the market that people choose not to accept, and they just choose to suffer. And so you either choose to suffer or you choose to be real with yourself and make the correct decisions from there. And that's what I meant by be real with yourself about where you're at in your journey. Have you been doing the same thing wrong for 6 months? Well, you still might be at square one. You may not have been able to pick, but if that's enough to get you to stop, that's fine. Like that's your personal preference. But for somebody who looks at that and they're like, okay, well, I was doing the wrong thing. That I now really know how to do the wrong thing. So I really know the intricacies of what not to do. And if anything, that's a teaching point, one that you should reflect on with others. One of the best ways to learn is to teach, and we teach by experience. And so the experiences you go through, just by teaching and reflecting on those experiences, you'll even hear yourself and be like, okay, I missed that, so that was a lot of explanation for that, but there you go. Thoughts on charge point? It's done. No, I'll take a look at it in a minute. Wicked rainstorm right now. Is everybody okay? So, Turtlicious. So let's go back. Let's look at Bank of America. So what we were talking about, right? I'm watching Facebook, everybody. Don't think I'm not. I'm watching. I'm not panicking. That's number one. Now we are opening up and pushing above the 9-day moving average. That's always bullish, but we need a candle close like we do here, right? Because we can wick up. Look at that wick right there. Look at the 9-day moving average. Looks tasty, but is it? Bank of America. So look at this lower time frame downtrend. So you're now tightly, very, very tightly consolidated. So you are about to make a move above 37.15. I would definitely say you've got 37.30 to the upside and another resistance hit. At that point, that's when you're going to start reassessing for weakness if you still see short. So real quickly, if you are in Rivian, look at my chart because you're going to need to either A, just skedaddle or take along. So check it out. Do you guys see that trend line right there? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 31.90, 32, right? And then up. So strikes on the Rivian to the upside. We're invested, all right? We're invested, but we're going to do it correctly. So June 10th is going to be the first place, and we're going to zoom out. So take a look at the hourly. So if that does happen, look at this higher time frame channel that we're currently trading in. This is definitely confirmed. I don't need anybody to confirm it for me. This is, I've got 5 levels of confirmation here on this. So there's a gap to fill at 33.72. So you could get away with a $34 call. I'm not going to go with that one. I'm going to go ahead and hit the $33 call for June 10th. And you're welcome to do the same if you wish. If it does not and it rejects and it falls, then watch for Rivian below 31.20 to return back down to 30.15. First bounce level is 30.84, where you could create, this is the setup for a triangle always. Anytime you have a wide mouth like this, it just sets up the range for chop. So sorry, everybody. Zoom still looks like doo-doo. Zoom looks excellent for a potential swing short. Look at Zoom on the, first of all, it looks amazing right now. Damn. All right, hold up. Hold the phone. Damn. Damn. It's kind of calling me as for, but look at this hourly. Look at this hourly. You already had a bounce retest. The test failed, right? Sellers stepped up. Seems only logical that Zoom is about to return to 106, which was my target this morning. So if anybody is still in Zoom, this is looking kind of juicy. Obviously, 106.70 is a level to watch. Ultimately, I think that this could fall even more because it doesn't deserve to be where it's at now. But what am I getting into Rivian 33? 610 Rivian calls will be above $32. All right. So just R1 on my chart here. Anywhere above that, yes. Okay, that'll be the strike that I take. You won't even have to hear me say it. I will take it. I will be in it. We'll be trading it, living it. Just imagine this. A position that somebody takes right now with this volume, as far as day trading, or even swing trading, could be at the exact same premium and price and location as it is right now. So don't get it twisted right now. We have little to no direction as far as volume is concerned. So choose wisely. 3-minute, what appears to be a 3-minute bull flag here from Facebook, but it seems like it's failing. Watch a 138.85 bounce. Is IWM building a inverted cup and handle on the 3-minute chart? Good heavens. I don't really consider cup and handles on 3-minute charts. No, I don't think you are. I think you're building this, which is a triangle right here. So watch for a bounce here. Looks like we're going to go green on IWM quickly. Watch 185.55 to the upside. IWM 185.20 is the first move up, and then 185.60, 185.50. Facebook right here. Facebook 185.16. Yeah, it does look bullish now. It's changing gears with that bounce. So low volume trading. I literally just typed everybody cut Facebook. I'm pulling up my contract right now. If we fall, we're great. If we fall, we're good. If we don't, then we're going to go and hit 196.20. So that's right, music man. Yeah, solid bounce right here. Don't be biased. Like if it breaks, it's probably going to go up, and due to the setup, if it does break and move to the upside, it can go higher. So we could rally from here. Don't get stuck being bearish. Doesn't matter what you feel. Doesn't matter what I feel. What I feel is irrelevant. What the market decides to do is what's important, and that's what we've got to react to. So. Oh, never mind. IWM is rejecting right now. So IWM can go lower, 184.47. Apple. Shit. I just charted Apple. Apple's in a 3-minute triangle here, 5-minute triangle. Watch Apple below 147.88 to go return for low of day. And then watch it above 148.60. I would say 148.60 for candle close above it. So don't even 148.75 through these. You need to break there, and then you can see some upside from there. The hourly time frame right now on Apple is more bearish. You're underneath your 9-day moving average. So if you can climb up above it and again go and hit and hold 149, then it may be that you see Apple up to 150. So, and this is 1, 2 Apple. Yeah, it is totally reasonable for Apple to hit 149.72 and then you see a break or build from there. Damn, Facebook. You want to cut or what do you want to do? Yeah, so if you just chose not to trade today because your risk is on and you don't like the volume, good job. You're doing exactly what you say you're going to do. That's good. It's going to do it. Yeah, it's running up right now. Like everything's moving up like slow, so it just makes me feel like we're going to see a burn down. But someone set the market to eat premium mode again. Yeah, it might be useful to go look at the max pain really quick. Hold on, Max. 406 on SPY. Shit. No shit, really? Look at that. That's the gap fill. 406.27. That's my target. No shit, that's crazy. Hold on, let's see. Run it from the top. Use that resistance. So SPY hits 413 and fails. I would venture to guess that we're gonna fall. And damn, that'd be crazy. Highest OI on strike, highest put OI, highest amount. SPY volume chart. Yeah. Yeah, dude, max pain is 406. $46 seconds. I hate to cut it, but I'm gonna have to. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and cut Facebook here, you can. That was a good entry, allowing us to cut. Hey, making money in the market today. How about you? A little bit of scraps here. We'll re-enter later. I'm still watching Zoom. My finger's on the sell button, and it's out now. Okay, so 195.50 for Facebook. We'll see if this one gets up to resistance. If it does get up to resistance, again, that was an early entry. If you got in with me and it was that one contract, that's exactly why we do that. So keep it light. Don't keep your risk low. That way you can make those decisions when you have to, and then just reposition. Because preferably when Facebook actually does move, I'd like to be at about 5 to 7 contracts of Facebook to the downside or upside, depending on where it goes. So this is the bull flag right now. We're breaking up. If we do go hit that resistance, this resistance is at 196.27 at the moment. 196.16 to 27. SPY has a gap 406.30. I don't think that. I think that we're still red for some reason. I feel like we're gonna see a little pullback today, and then green tomorrow. But I mean, we're building right now on low volume, but patience. You're in Zoom puts 617. I actually really like the Zoom setup right now. I think that it's holding. So that if you notice right now, if you notice, that Zoom is literally in like stop motion. It's not moving. That's because the market's going up and nobody wants to buy Zoom, right? That's the simplest way I can explain that. So I like it. I do. I think that Zoom puts are look really good on the chart. I think the multiple different time frames agree with it, at least somewhat of a pullback. You see an engulfment here on Zoom here at the top. You know, engulfments at the bottom don't mean as much. But here at the top, those definitely mean a whole bunch. You can see 106.40 is the level to break anywhere below 106.40, and that would be my main target there. Yeah, I would honestly say 105, 105.50, 105.60. But after that, it seems like a straight drop to around 102.50. I like them. I like them right now, and I would say that looking at all of these time frames, that this is a pretty agreeable trade. You don't want to hold, you don't want to close or bounce or do anything like that though. You want to move down. Any bounces or anything like that above the 110 mark, it would cancel out this downside sentiment pretty quickly. So that would be where, you know, stop losses would be had. So, but I do like it right now. Hey, what's up? I forgot about QCOM. You know, I'm really, I don't know if I ever, one of my monitors got broken. We'll call it in the move. The nicest one that I had, and I've never replaced it. I just haven't. I should. I could just do it right now, but I don't know. I should probably get that because I need my other screen. When you're watching stocks for like more than what for yourself, obviously, you know, go hunting. QCOM is ripping, but you're up against your daily downtrend, so that's number one. You have incredibly low volume. That's number two. One thing to keep in mind is these downtrends, all that good stuff, and I'm going to redraw it really quickly. So starting here from that downtrend. So you'll notice that you are up against a strong daily downtrend right now. You're either going to break, and you can see that here momentarily or throughout the day where you just move and hold above that resistance. So anywhere holding above 140 is going to be bullish for you. But anywhere around 140, 130, if QCOM does not hold into the high or into the mid 140s, then I would actually say that you could be anticipating a possible pullback or consolidation. A lot of the times when I'm in this situation, I want to start charting on this lower time frame in order to get an idea of what may be going on here. So that's your resistance, that's your support, that's QQQ. So watch 141.60 to the upside. Let's go look at a Square. Square is still bundled up at resistance. Facebook is here. All right, so Facebook is right there. Yeah, the QQQs could break that downtrend. Yeah, Biden and Jay Powell are going to speak privately at 1:15. And we're moving up on low volume. We're being held up by low volume. So if any volume returns to the market and they don't like this, it's easily pulled back down. Yeah, I can look at Upstart for you. I will leave my stream up. I need to go remove some electronics that I just remembered are outside. They're under coverage, but should probably not let them get fried. Stupid power washer. 15-minute appears to be holding a 15-minute wedge. Yep, 100%. You've got 1, 2. Watch for a drift back down to 51.19, and then maybe a third cycle up to 55. Daily time frame. what did I just have there? Okay, cool. I already had that downtrend, so that's cool. So daily, who the hell? Starting from the lows, I'm going to go to the 4-hour, just makes this easier. I talked about this weekend. I talked about this resistance, how it was going up for the second cycle, and how it moves is going to really dictate, I think, how it moves in the future. So Upstart either A has a triangle forming, where you're like, if we do intraday red, with a new 4-hour candle, then you might see a Upstart back down around 43 bucks, before cycling back up to the 50s. But right now is kind of like that moment of truth. If you move up, right? If you move up, then watch for this 61. So you've got 61, 75, somewhere in this range, would be where I would be looking. So anytime I see things like this, right, I don't just chart for the now. I chart for like, okay, what, and I'm encouraging those who are getting into charting to be as Dim will tell you, if she's listening right now, be exploratory, because a lot of the things that you're picking up on, the patterns that your brain is naturally built to recognize, are oftentimes real things, that you can go and find definitions for. So be exploratory and don't feel like there's anything that you have to, like, some secret rules that you have to like abide by. When you're being exploratory, you need to double check those, run them by. That's why it's good to have, a group, or just even some other people to, if you have a group of new traders. When I was in several different other groups with other new traders, just to listen, talk about indicators and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm looking at Rivian right now. It's the 500 HMA, 3196 on the 5-minute. So still not thinking that this thing is going to go up. I'm still thinking that we're going to see downside. But again, it's bundled up. I got to play the chart. But anyway, so that being said, there's two wicks. These two giant wicks, they're not just wicking off of anything, and that does create a semblance, or some semblance of a channel. So if you see, go to the hourly to clean that up. Now, when I go to the hourly, I see a 200-day EMA around 59.23. So it may be that you run up to 54.70, and there's a possibility, of course, still. Because I guess you didn't quite hit it all the way. There's a possibility for, a pullback there, and an ascending triangle, and or just a break and hold above. So, all right, guys, moving over to Facebook really quickly. So things are actually rebounding a bit, and it looks like Facebook has just broken that trend line. So good cut, if you did cut that. So I am not going to enter Facebook quite yet. The time to enter Facebook was when we cut, when it crossed above that 9-day moving average here. Right now, Facebook is too close to 196, 197 even, and too low a volume in order for me to take an upside position. It has been just kind of like scrounging up this way, and if it breaks above that, then I can go long in that 220s like I was talking about. So. Yeah, 197.80. If you mean 197.80 is the target that I have to the upside. 198.14, at the top. Nice. If you took a light 205 Facebook 83 break of what, that's good. Yeah. So if you grab that's good. Good job legging in there. Good exit and good leg, good possible entry there. But with a low volume day like this, I know it's really tempting, but I'm not going to enter quite yet. That's as far as I think we go, the yellow line. So if you see profit in that little bit of room here, then like go for it. But I'm gonna go ahead and add an alert to that line, and then we'll take it when it gets there. So this 15-minute candle could 100% close below 196 if it chooses to not, and fake out. So AMD, I had a target on AMD from this weekend. I've got one at 105. It seems extremely obvious that AMD is about to go hit 105. Honestly, this is a low volume run up. Makes me feel like there's still a dump to be had, but damn, it took till 11:51 to move at all. Rivian has not broken, but again, remember that mark that I told you, $32. Should have held your Facebook call? Not necessarily. Uh, it's still good to, you don't want to bend the rules, right? Because as soon as you say I should have done this time, it won't happen the next time, right? You'll cut or you won't cut, and then it'll end up keep dumping or whatever the case may be. But unless you had a good expiration. So how do I use the volume profile? It basically just lets me the strength behind each level. That's how I use it. Stay patient, everybody. Kind of. Yeah, it does have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders, but the shoulder is weak. Shoulder could fall more. All right, well, if you are on the YouTube or TikTok streams, guys, I'm going to there is no trade for me until we move above these ranges. It's just not going to happen. And I know sometimes like my trading style strategy is a little boring. I'm not scalping today, so I'm waiting for a break that I can take a contract that expires a little bit further and set up some type of spread on. So yeah, I'm looking at Rivian right now. I have my screen above me. So this is Rivian right now. It just broke and just tapped 32. So Zoom has to hold again below 110.33. If you're looking at Rivian June 10th, if you want to go with this week, it's entirely up to you. There's a gap up there that looks like it wants to get filled. That's at 33.70. So to hedge, I'm going to go with the $33 strike for next week, and I'm going to set the stop. So basically the same breakout level, which is right here. That's going to be 31.78. I'm going to go ahead and take that $33 call for June 10th for Rivian. 33, yes, that's 155. Nice. Yeah, if you're scalping Rivian, again, don't confuse different strategies. Certain people have to certain people could have made $800 just now. Like there are so many that you can't just switch all the time. You're gonna spin yourself out. So that's why I try not to do that to myself and make sure that I'm using good risk management. But good scalp, good job. I'm fundamentally short on Rivian, but yeah, let's look at Upstart. Are you in Upstart, John? Wait, I just looked at Upstart, didn't I? Did I? Yeah, I did. So this one I was just mentioning, it's got a little resistance at 54.80. It's got the cup type setup here, and I have, again, based on kind of like these wicks here, I have a projected target around this 200-day EMA, which is $59. But you got to get through these key levels, which the first one is obviously right here. We're not quite there yet, but we're really, really close. 54.75. If you get above 54.75, I would not expect to see much. out of Upstart until it breaks out and then retest this very level. So if it rejects it, that's something to watch for as well. What is IWM's resistance? Well, my resistance on the daily is 192. Lower time frame, it appears that 188.90 is that target. Facebook is at $97. Amazon is about to go and hit my target of $2,400. I hate bleed ups. I really do. Look at all those nasty wicks on Amazon. You would have lost thousands just trying to, well, not lost, but you would have fluctuated thousands. By the way, this is a 15-minute candles. We know that stocks move faster than this, so don't go blind on me here. What do you look for in a 9-day moving average? You know, time spent together. Not kidding. Any a cross above it. On any given time frame. Then the 5-minute, obviously for scalping, day trading, can be useful. And then the 9-day moving average on the hourly, oftentimes in bullish situation, is lagging and will serve as a bounce level for me. So, yo, nice job, 71% on Amazon. Nice $3,000. Good job, dude. Ooh, I know. Libertarian would want to see my gun. I'll send you it. I'll send you a picture of it. It's just for my house. I'm not like going hunting with it. It's just a home protection device. Just ignore those extended clips in the back. I just bought those because we're just flirting around with I was just messing with how it clips into a Glock. They were free, so yeah. I don't give any warnings, so just don't break into my house, and we don't have any problems. That's just it. Anywhere else, I don't even carry that thing with me. So no, they're looking at this. Say what? You cut Rivian puts on call side now? So no, well, the Rivian weeklies, yes. Hand me a Smith and Wesson. I'll have. Oh Jesus, I know that. I know that lyric. Um, wow. Look at So right now it's up against the 500 HMA. The hedge is, or the call is just simply there because I'm still in Rivian to the downside. So that I still am short Rivian, so I'm hedging any upside positions. But if weeklies, no, I'm not shorting. I will absolutely slap Rivian again if it decides to reverse. Everything is going up on low volume, and there's a lot of indecision right now. So I'm just again waiting, watching. That's not a Smith and Wesson. I'm just gonna not be involved until we get some volume. So suppressor in the BG. That's not a suppressor. That's not a suppressor. I don't have suppressors. Jesus Christ. No. Yo, Turtlicious, Bank of America is right up against that resistance. It's literally right there on the money. What is the round thing? What is what thing? That is a muzzle flash. I'm not like I don't collect like or anything like that. I just got pieces for the house. I have a 357 Winchester Magnum from 1980 with like a pearl set handle and stuff like that. My grandpa gave it to me. Hot damn. All right, so the queues are still running on ridiculously low volume. And you are right there. You are at your mark. We are at resistance 100%. Check it out. I'm gonna look at the queues. Oh my god, dude, we are ripping. Okay, so we might be sending it out of here. We might be out. Look. Right there. We are at resistance right now in this channel. Let's see. Are we breaking? Dude, I hate low volume days. I really do. Any trader, these low volume poop days are just shit. Nice job, Apple. SQ up against resistance. Facebook up against resistance, 197.50. Amazon's very close to resistance. Zoom is giving you a retest of 110.14. And QQQ is up against what I'm perceiving to be as your lower time frame channel. So check it out right there. It may have already broken. Yeah, it does. It looks like it might have broken already. I actually love days like this. I can turn the charts off and get work done. I just don't like days like this because I don't like low volume starts to days because it just shows a lack of sentiment, a lack of direction. And those aren't things that are easy to trade for anybody. But in most cases, like in this case, right? Anytime you're moving up on low volume, you can expect potential pullbacks. Anytime you're moving down on low volume, you can expect bounces. So knowing where that ends, especially when algos are in control, like knowing exactly where resistance is here, like that's where I kind of gotta wait. But nice job. If anybody got into, I think we've had 4 different admins getting into longs. I think Astro is 2, our Plunger, Dr. Spy, obviously Rolly is crushing shit right now, so. All right, well, I'm gonna come back because again, I'm trying to take like a swing trade, like trade. Tired of these like little quick moves. If you're in Rivian, we're gonna add puts below 31.40, and I'm gonna cut that call that I grabbed at 31.80. Due to the low volume chop right now. But that is support for Rivian. If it loses it, it's done. So TP'd Apple at 75%. Yeah. We'll see how we close. It's 12 o'clock right now. Price target on Facebook to the upside. Well, I do have more. And again, I was kind of thinking we would see a pullback before we got to this resistance, but we're here already. And I mean, really, this is it. This is the resistance. Anything above this, any resistance I have above, Facebook is going to send us up to around 202.30. That's all the targets that I gave this weekend were for 50% retracements of the move that I made. So please leave me alone. Right now, I'm about to tear my wall open to build an in-wall safe. So like a by my bed, like just because like I again I guns, I just have them for my own protection, but I also I have kids, so like my number one. Today was not a good trading day for at least for me. I think today was kind of a difficult trading day for I think for a lot of kind of like scalpers and stuff like that. Seemingly no direction at the bell, and then you get this kind of like random low volume push up to resistance. So because it's a low volume push up to resistance, I'm still sticking with what I think is a possible rejection and pullback, but we'll see. Amazon, yeah, Amazon. Are you still in Amazon? I only have one more target, which is 23.98. Scalpers didn't. I don't. What moves did we have here? Hold on, let's see. I guess yeah. For directional traders, scalpers could have handled a couple of these different moves, but there's no direction or follow through with a lot of these moves. We're not getting like broken down supports or range is broken. Tesla is still doing its thing. Short after on Amazon? Well, I'm not saying to short it immediately, but if it hits 2,400 a day on low volume, yeah. Anytime I hit a resistance on low volume, I'm thinking short. Number one, like that's period. Also, look at Square 5-minute, kind of looking like a little 5-minute bear flag here. Careful. Actually, 100% this looks like a 5-minute bear flag. Holy shit. Look at SQ here. Hold on. 5-minute. Kind of. You see rejection, then 88.30, but let's see. All right, I'll be right back. TikTok, stuff like that. I'll be back. Or if you're on YouTube, I'll be back on TikTok before the end of the day. But stay vigilant. We'll get some volume here before the end of the week. I'm sure of it, and we'll be able to make some solid day trades. So day trades, yeah. My opinion on oil stocks. Rollman. That's my opinion. No, just kidding. I personally think that there's just like he said, I think there's a pullback. So I have A, made 4K more today. B, sell Amazon calls. So I have A, make 4K more today. B, sell Amazon calls. C, sell Tesla. I can't sell both. I mean, Amazon's ripped higher. I would probably give Amazon. I don't know. Amazon takes more than it gives, so. All right, I'll be back shortly. I'll see you guys.